It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky.
Well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take him out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
They're going to go with Trey Lance on this play as he kept it and absorbed quite the hit. Cody Barton and Brian Monet both teamed up to put it on Trey Lance. And Lance is down right now. That was quite the hit. Lance absorbed some hits last week against Chicago as well. But on that power run, Lance is down, and Jimmy Garoppolo may see early action today in the first quarter.
Now's with 2:20 left in the first quarter, and that's how Trey Lance's season ends. Right there in the first quarter, 2nd and 8, quarterback trap, RPO, whatever you want to call it. Trey Lance goes down, got hit by the linebackers, and his ankle is broken. He's out for the season. He'll have surgery today, and we won't see Trey Lance possibly until next season. But the 49ers do get their first win of the season. But it feels like an afterthought. The folks, the 27-7 win over the Seattle Seahawks to snap their 4-game losing streak against Seattle. But good morning, everybody out there. I'm just going to get right into it. You guys know the drill. YouTube, Twitch, Comcast Business Text Line. Drive safe. Everybody getting off of work. You know the drill. We don't have a second to waste today. We don't have a single second to waste today. Because we're going to have the Trey Lance package. We're going to have the Kyle Shanahan package. And we're going to have the Jimmy Garoppolo package. That's what we're talking about basically all day long on 95.7 The Game. So buckle up, folks, as I say good morning to Lubman, Spadoni, and you, Joe Shasky. You can get the first crack at this. Trey Lance out for the season. For the season. After last week running 13 times. Against Houston, he ran 8 times. Against Arizona, he ran 16 times. So
I'm looking, B, I'm looking at the kid right now going on the cart, and I didn't see the zoomed in things. I was at the game, and it was just the weirdest game to begin with. I'm so gutted for the kid. That's number one. Like, gutted for him. Seeing him on that cart when I got home and I watched the broadcast back, to me, it felt like not only did he recognize his season's over, no doubt about it, it felt like the weight of the world was on the kid's shoulders. Like, I felt pain that was deeper than just the injury, and maybe I'm pulling too much from this. It just sucks. I mean, it absolutely sucks. I'm going to go back to the head coach here.
You want to start there right away?
I'm going to start with the head coach. Right. It is not a singular play. It is the totality of how you're using an individual for me. It's the body of work. Your job as a head coach is to win games and simultaneously keep the franchise quarterback upright. That's your job, your obligation to do that. This kid got hit 20 times last week, 20 plus times. He got hit in this game in 12 plays, 13 plays, 5 times got hit. All right? No one is making it through a season getting hit 20 to 25 times per game. I don't care if it's Jimmy G, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, Trey Lance. It was bound to happen. I literally tweeted out 2 seconds before he got hit, and I'm sitting there with my cousins. I'm saying, he's taking too many shots. He's taking too many shots. And people are going to say, Joe, Lamar Jackson runs that play. Josh Allen runs that play. God damn it, I don't want my franchise quarterback running that play. I want him sitting back and being protected. This offensive line has been porous from day one, and that's on Shanahan and the head coach, and then you're running him like a brick wall, begging him to get hurt. I'm gutted for the kid. You won the game, but at what cost? The franchise quarterback that you moved up to go get, you didn't protect him. And in fact, because I'm all about risk mitigation, right? You got to minimize the amount of time someone's being hit. If Chip Kelly did this, if Jim Tom Sula did this, if Mike Nolan, this ended Mike Nolan's career with Alex Smith by putting him in a position to get plowed by that Seattle defensive player. Like, Kyle Shanahan, he completely lost me yesterday. I'm like livid. And then to see players come out immediately in the locker room, okay, after I was told by everyone with the 49ers, we're a unified group. We got Trey Lance's back. Do they? Because immediately Mike Silver's got a report in the San Francisco Chronicle saying guys are coming up. We're actually better with Jimmy Garoppolo under center. They've botched this thing so many. There's a management issue. There's a usage issue. There's a play calling issue. I mean, pick your poison here. And it goes back to the head coach on the sideline who's so arrogant arrogant. He couldn't even look in the mirror and show an ounce of remorse or self-reflection. I'm livid with the team right now.
So there's a few things, and we're going to get on.
I'm sorry, B. I'm so furious with the kid.
So
with Shanahan, excuse me, not with the kid. With the kid getting hurt.
We'll get to Shanahan because I've got questions about the long-term future of Trey Lance, the short-term future of Trey Lance, what it looks like for the 49ers.
Who knows if
there's
he can come back.
There's a chance next year when Shanahan is entering his 7th year as head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, there's a chance he could still be looking for a quarterback. There's a chance because we don't know how Trey Lance is going to recover from a broken ankle. Hell, we haven't seen Trey Lance play. Trey Lance is not going to get reps this year. He didn't get reps really last year. He didn't get reps the year before because of the pandemic. He's about to go 3.5 years without really playing any football. Any football.
No development, no nothing.
So the worst part about all this.
It's brutal.
Look, Jimmy Garoppolo being an insurance package is great for the 49ers. It's great for them. But let's not start to call these guys brilliant. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they're not brilliant for bringing Jimmy back. They looked into having Jimmy Garoppolo come back because Jimmy Garoppolo's a nice guy. Jimmy Garoppolo's a nice guy, said nothing, played his role. They looked into having Jimmy Garoppolo back on that bench. So they don't get any credit for saying, hey, they had the brilliant mind to bring Jimmy Garoppolo back. No. Nobody wanted Jimmy because he was hurt. They tried multiple times to trade him. They couldn't get a trade off. And then they were figuring out, do we cut him? Do we not? Do we cut him? Do we not? They lucked into having Jimmy back. So they get no credit for that. No credit whatsoever. But we could be entering year number 7 where we don't even know who the quarterback is. And I don't know how long a coach can survive when he goes through 7 years where the quarterback situation's been botched. And I've told you this, Butcher, from day number 1.
I know.
They botched the quarterback situation from the first day they got the job by not selecting Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. And I don't care. I know the stories. They didn't go scout them because they were hell-bent on Kirk Cousins. They were hell-bent on Kirk Cousins. And then they didn't do anything there because Kirk Cousins ended up going to Minnesota. It was like, well, we need a plan B. And they pivoted right away to Jimmy. Whatever. Long-term, short-term, Niners got a shot to do some special things this season. No doubt about it. But the usage of Trey Lance, we literally, and we'll play this out. Last Wednesday, our flex moment of the show was saying, can we see Trey Lance as a pocket quarterback? And there's a misconception on what people want from a quarterback. There's a misconception here. A lot of people are tweeting out, well, you guys wanted a running quarterback. You wanted a running quarterback. No. We didn't want a running quarterback.
Or a quarterback that's running power, quarterback
powers all day long.
They go draft Tebow.
All day long. He's averaged 11 carries per game in his 4 starts. Trey Lance. 4 starts. 16 carries against Arizona. All right? 13 carries last week against Chicago. 8 carries against the Houston Texans in a gotta-have-it game. And yesterday, you see him on the first possession. 3rd and 6. Quarterback delay. He gets the first down. But I'm thinking to myself, damn, I thought they drafted him because he could throw the out route on 36. He could make a throw on money down. He could take the top off the defense.
His intelligence. That was the one of the number one things that I was told from many people with the 49ers. They're in love with how smart the kid is.
Right.
And yet, now we're obsessed with him being a running quarterback. Bonte, who took the most snaps under center? Not RPOs, under center of the guys that were coming out in the year he came out.
Trey Lance.
By far. The most amount under center. And this thing about the RPOs, it's hilarious to me. Well, Debo, talk about the specific play that he had, the read option play. Well, he could give the ball up and actually, Debo Samuel had a 50-yard gain earlier. Debo Samuel is a glorified running back playing wide receiver. Yep. George Kittle is a glorified right tackle playing tight end. And the quarterback is a glorified fullback playing quarterback. What is going on? Whoa. Why does this team have everyone playing the wrong positions? Bonte, you don't need to run RPOs to be effective in the league.
Well,
does Tom Brady run them?
No, of course not.
I mean, last time I checked, the guy down in L.A., Matt Stafford, who won the Super Bowl, is he running them?
Nope.
If you want to hand the ball up to the running back, just run a freaking running back play. Why does it have to be an RPO?
Here's another situation, though.
And here's the irony. Debo got stuffed for the 2-yard loss and made 3 or 4 jukes and then ran 50 yards. He got stuffed on that play.
Well, here's the deal with Trey Lance, because I want to focus on him first. The Trey package. Was it fair Was it unfair? Was he misused? 888-957-9570. We don't even know who Trey Lance is as a quarterback yet. We don't. We don't know who he is. Who is he? Like, do the 49ers go into the 2023 NFL draft and say, well, you know what? Trey Lance has a broken ankle. We don't know if he can throw from the pocket. We need to pivot and go look for another quarterback. Do I even trust Kyle Shanahan to draft that quarterback or work with that quarterback or develop that quarterback? That's an entirely different question. I don't know if I trust Shanahan with my quarterback anymore.
It's a great question. Because I keep seeing this. Well, the reason he's running so much is because he's not developed as a passer. Well, then either one of two things happened. You picked the wrong guy,
right,
or you didn't develop him properly.
Right.
Again, I go back to coaching.
Well, I don't know.
Not that Trey doesn't share some of the culpability.
Listen, and this is what I've been saying about Shanahan for a long time. The arrogance. Now, we're going to play some sound of the post-game presser, where he basically told somebody, do you watch other teams? This is what everybody in the NFL is doing. Do you watch other teams?
Yeah, I do. I do. Because this kid was on pace for 230 carries this year. 230. In the Shanahan era, Bonte, what's the most rushes one running back has had in a year? In the Shanahan era in 49ers.
What is it, 240
by Carlos Hyde.
Yep.
No other guy besides Elijah Mitchell went over 200. Yet Trey Lance is going to take the same amount of carries as Elijah Mitchell, who, by the way, got hurt in both years.
Yeah, hurt in both years.
And let me just go through the list. Carlos Hyde, never been the same since. Breida, who led them in carries,
never been the same. He's
never
out the
been
league.
the same. Coleman, Mostert, always hurt. Jeff Wilson Jr., we know he's gone down many times. And now Elijah Mitchell. I mean, just look up and down this roster. All the running backs get hurt. You know why? Because running the football in between the tackles with linebackers trying to take your head off is literally flirting with danger.
Well, Trey Lance admitted last week, boy, it's hard to outrun these defensive ends in the NFL. I'm learning that I can't just outrun these guys. And the thing about Trey Lance is he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Josh Allen. He doesn't have wiggle when he runs the football. We highlighted this last year against the Houston Texans, where it's like, yeah, Trey can run.
Well, he can move behind
escape,
the line.
But he's a pocket guy. And you drafted him because he was a pocket guy who could make all the throws from the pocket. But instead, quarterback power, running them right up the middle against linebackers. I was at Soldier Field. Anna, my better half, Anna. Last week in Chicago, Soldier Field, she go, boy, quarterback's taking a lot of hits. She don't know diddly pool about football. Mm-hmm. First time she saw a block field goal yesterday, she thought it was the coolest thing on earth. Oh, my God, I'd never seen anything like that. That was cool.
When they didn't go for it on fourth and one from the 2-yard line. But they did early on that possession. Uh-huh. So decision making on fourth down, I don't even want to get there because I've been all over that. I know.
I've been all over that for many years. And people always tell me Shanahan's a genius. He's not a genius. He's a good play caller. But is he a great head coach? I do not know. Is he a great quarterback whisperer? I do not know. They just handled their number 3 overall pick, and that's another thing. We're looking at another possibly blown first-round pick.
I know.
Solomon Thomas, right?
I know.
Reuben Foster.
I know.
2 blown first-round picks.
What about Mike McGlinchey?
Mike McGlinchey. I was getting there.
Mike McGlinchey stinks.
Hold on. Mike McGlinchey, number 9 overall. It's going to be walking.
And clearly loves Jimmy Garoppolo, if you just watch the videos and the celebrations.
Javon Kinlaw, we don't know about yet. I think he could be really, really good. But it's a question mark.
That's being friendly.
CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. All right? You have Brandon Ayuk, number 25 overall. I think Brandon Ayuk could be very, very good.
I agree.
Very, very good. But he needs a quarterback to get him the ball.
I'm with you.
And Trey Lance, one of the throws he made, get Ayuk in the flat, wide open, let him make some things happen. It's a 25-yard game. And then you got Trey Lance, number 3 overall, and you move 3 first-round picks to go get Trey Lance. Now, some people say 2, 3, whatever.
Well,
you
prioritize the kid.
You gave up 2.
You prioritize the franchise quarterback, and then this is how you develop him and nurture him? I mean, again, Monte, I'm asking you out loud, okay? Any coach, just take the names away. Take Trey Lance's name away. Take Kyle Shanahan's name away. Head coach was going to run his quarterback for the most amount of rushes on pace for a quarterback in the history of the NFL, and he broke his ankle, and I'm supposed to be surprised?
Nobody's surprised.
I'm asking. I'm literally sitting there. I go, he got hit 5 times in 12 plays.
I know.
5 times.
I know.
No quarterback is going to last that way.
Quarterback power on 3rd and 6. He gets a first down, but he gets blasted. 2nd and 6. He throws an incomplete pass, but he got blasted by number 10 from Seattle, Uwusu. Right? Got blasted by him. 2nd and goal. Second and goal, takes a hit on the quarterback delay. Doesn't get anywhere, takes a shot. Third and goal, completes a pass to Jeff Wilson Jr., took a shot on that. That's just all on the first drive. That's 4 plays on the first drive, Chasky. We never even got to possession number 2. So, part of the head coach's job, if you know Trey Lance is having a tough time sliding, if you know he has a tough time protecting himself, then help him protect himself. Help him protect himself. Kyle Shanahan, bosh it, but you know what? The lines are lit up.
Well, and here's the irony. They won.
Listen,
and I couldn't.
They won.
I
and
was
I could care.
I was so
cares.
sad for the kid.
Listen, there's so many things I want to get to here. We got over 300 people already watching on YouTube. It's going to be one of those days, folks. It's going to be one of those days. Twitch, I see you humming. I want to get to a call real quick and set the tone.
Okay.
I want to set the tone because I haven't heard from this guy in a very long time. And the lines are lit up right now, but we're going to start off with the man Juice out there in San Carlos. Juice is calling early.
Wow.
He's on the morning roast. Let's roll.
Good morning, fellas. I just want to call and say happy Monday to y'all. And that, honestly, I'm really confused. Once Jimmy got in, I look at this playbook. He's throwing it down the field. He's throwing all these, mid-route passes. And Trey didn't get none of that. Why are we letting Jimmy throw down the field? If you want to let Trey run when he can run at his best. When he picks and chooses, pick up that first down. Don't be sending my quarterback on draw delays so he gets killed. This is giving me shades of RG3 all over again. Mishandling the quarterback, abusing him, and now he's gone. Now we got to wait another year for development. Now Kittle, Debo, all these other guys are a year older. Trent Williams. I don't know. I'm confused on what Shanahan's doing.
Thanks, Juice. And that wasn't the Juice I was expecting. That was a damn good call.
Let me jump in there.
Damn good.
One of the things that people are saying is football, people get hurt. Of course people get hurt. It's a violent game. Joe Montana got hurt by Jim Burt in the pocket. All right? In the pocket. Herbert the other night on Thursday Night Football.
Hurt in the pocket.
In the pocket. This is about risk mitigation at times. Why do I wear a seatbelt when driving? Monte, I could get hurt wearing the seatbelt or not wearing the seatbelt. Right. You know why I wear the seatbelt? Out of extra precaution. Because I know that it's going to at least mitigate some of the risk. Not all of it, but some of the risk. It's the same thing with the quarterback. Can you pick and choose your spots and maybe run him on the edges every now and then, even if you don't think he's fast enough to run on the edges? Well, I'd much rather him go head up with a DB than 2 linebackers in between the tackles. These people that injuries happen. Well, this guy, the head coach, has gotten Beathard hurt, Mullins hurt, Jimmy Garoppolo hurt multiple times, and now Trey Lance hurt. What more do you need to see? And then if you want to say to me, Joe, well, he's a running quarterback, well, then put an offensive line in front of him that can actually block.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing right there.
Again, I go back to the coach.
That's the one thing.
I'm sorry. I'm just so mad.
That's the one thing right there. When you talk about Lamar Jackson, you talk about Josh Allen. I watched those organizations build their offense around their quarterback. The Bills, let's go get Diggs. Let's make sure we have a good offensive line. Let's go get some running backs. Let's make sure our tight ends are right.
Davis.
Draft them. Drafted all these guys.
Draft Cooks because we don't want him running.
Right, exactly. So then you look at Baltimore. They get the offensive line. They get speedy wide receivers. They got a slew of running backs. They got running backs. They got so many running backs in Baltimore. They do it to build around Lamar Jackson. And they drafted Huntley out of Utah. In case Lamar Jackson goes down, we got a quarterback who can run the similar offense, and we don't skip a beat. What the 49ers did this offseason, did they make the offensive line better? They let Lincoln Tomlinson walk.
No.
Alex Mack retired in July. So then you go into the season with your second-year quarterback who had 2 starts under his belt, and you say, okay, you're going to play behind Aaron Banks, who has no starts and wasn't active.
Who is Jake Brendel starting on? What team?
Jake Brendel, and then right guard and Spencer Burford, who we all like, but he's a rookie.
And thank God he's as good as he is, because could you imagine if there was a downgrade there?
So you didn't build your offensive line. You drafted other running backs, I get it, but you really didn't build the offense around Trey. You asked Trey to say, hey, come into this offense and just take us to another level. But we're not going to protect you up front. We're gonna go very cheap on the offensive line.
And we're not going to run the plays that you're familiar with. Under center.
Bootlegs,
under
zone, under center.
He took more under center snaps than Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and Zach Wilson. So this thing that this revisionist, they ran, I charted it, shotgun 3 times, pistol 3 times, and under center 6.
I got it.
50% of the time, they were in a shotgun or a pistol, and 50% of the time, they were under center. That's just for this game. Again, the guy's strength is turning his back to the defense and running play action. His 3 good throws last week against the Bears were all under center play action plays.
Unbelievable. 44 carries going into that game yesterday for Trey Lance. In his first 3 starts. First 3 starts,
It's
44
unsustainable.
carries.
It's unsustainable. You were flirting with danger.
Called it last week. We're going to play the sound. We're going to Bay Rob, you're coming up on deck. We got Mondo, we got Nick, we got EJ, we got RJ, got everybody on YouTube. It's going to be one of those shows. Niners win. They beat the Seahawks 27-7.
It feels like an afterthought.
Geno Smith and company didn't score a point.
Yeah, he stinks.
That's 6 straight quarters the Seahawks offense hasn't scored a point. But it's an afterthought, folks. Trey Lance is out for the year, broken ankle. So what does it mean? Jimmy's back. Does the expectations change? Is it now? Are we now back to Super Bowl or bust?
I'm not even ready to get that far.
Now that the veteran's back in, are we back to Super Bowl or bust?
I don't know.
What's going on? We're going to talk all about it here on
the
Morning
offense
Roast.
looks slightly better for a couple drives.
Please. The San Diego Tourism Authority, when you're happy and you know it. In San Diego, there's no limit to how you can show it. Endless sunshine, coastline, and outdoor adventures. Inspire waves of feel-good vibes. Plan your trip today at sandiego.org.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic, and they bring the shop to you. Brakes and tire replacements, oil changes, and more. And they've just added an eco-friendly wash. Barely uses any water and makes your car look brand new. The ultimate convenience, easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrival, service in your driveway, no waiting rooms or coordinating rides, direct access to your mechanic, friendly, reliable service, no middlemen, no upsells. Get $50 off your first oil change with the code OIL50. That's OIL50. Check out Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com. Let's do it again. Kirby is your driveway mechanic, and they bring the shop to you. Brakes and tire replacements, oil changes, and more. And they just added an eco-friendly wash. Barely uses any water. Makes the car look brand new. The ultimate convenience, easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrival, service in the driveway. No waiting rooms, coordinating rides, direct access to your mechanic. Friendly, reliable service. No middlemen, no upsells. So, now, get $50 off your first oil change with the code OIL50. That's OIL50. Check out Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com.
The gamer, the call maker, the experience chaser. What if you could be everything all at once? Galaxy Z Fold 4 is powered by the Snapdragon processor for world-class performance and lightning-fast speed to turbocharge your multitasking. How about an expansive edge-to-edge screen for immersive gaming, hands-free video calls with flex mode, and multi-window view to use up to 3 apps at the same time? With Galaxy Z Fold 4, do more with ease and make multitasking a breeze. Available now at Samsung.com.
Pink Floyd's Roger Waters. This is not a drill.
We're doing a show in the round. It's something new. I look forward to the challenge.
Featuring his songs from the golden era of Pink Floyd. Friday and Saturday, September 23rd and 24th, Chase Center in San Francisco. Tickets on sale now at RogerWaters.com. Produced by AEG Presents.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security. Together for just $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Or find out how to get up to a $650 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. New 50 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Requires enrollment in EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 1H 2022. Results may vary, not an endorsement.
Have you considered walking through another door? I don't mean to pursue another opportunity, but upgrading a door in your home. Now, if you are in fact looking for another opportunity, Golden State Window and Door can provide you with plenty. You can create renewed function and design for use indoors and out. You'll find modern options like Marvin's Elevate In-Swing French Door, barn doors by Trustyle, or Anderson big doors that welcome in natural light. Golden State Window and Door features a variety of materials, sizes, and glass options. You can get inspired by the many possibilities when you visit goldenstatelumber.com. Click on virtual tours and you'll discover beautifully planned displays of doors and windows of all kinds that will spark your imagination. Then, talk with our builder or designer to see what might be a good fit for your home. Serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill September 23rd through September 25th for their fall clearance sale event and take advantage of one-of-a-kind opportunities. Visit Friedman's Appliance Fall Clearance Sale event for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
Bart is turning 50, and we'd love to celebrate with you. Get 50% off of your ride in honor of Bart's 50 years of service to the Bay Area when you pay with Clipper. That's 50% off Clipper Bart fares for the entire month of September. Add Clipper to your digital wallet for free. If you're eligible for other Clipper discounts like youth or senior fares, you get to take an additional 50% off of those too. Details at bart.gov/50 years. Celebrate Bart's 50 years of service with us this September. Let's go.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Season debut for Jimmy Garoppolo, who last played a meaningful game in the NFC title game against the Rams last year. And he's hit as he throws, but he finds Brandon Ayuk on 3rd down. It is short of the line to gain by about a couple of yards. Picks up 4. Robbie Gould will come out.
I thought he did a real good job coming off the bench. Made some real key throws. Thought it got real tough there in the second half with some of that when that rain came back. It was on and off, so we had to be a little selective in certain moments. Especially it was tough when we lost our run game a little bit there in the 3rd, early 4th, because it was a little tougher to throw there when the rain started coming. But I was real proud of Jimmy and how he came in and was ready for the moment and helped us get a win.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Well, it's Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, helping the Niners get their first victory of the season. Jimmy Garoppolo connected on his first 5 pass attempts. Could have been 6 if Ayuk held on to a deep, I guess a back shoulder fade route, 30 yards down the field if you want to call it that. But overall, Jimmy Garoppolo, 13-21, 154 yards and a touchdown. Started the first half, 8 of 11 for 106, and it's his team again. It's Jimmy Garoppolo's team again. We're going to get back out to the lines in just a second, as this segment is brought to you by Golden State Lumber, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit goldenstatelumber.com. So there's a couple things I want to read. One from Ed Werder from ESPN. It's covered of Cowboys a long time. This is back on September 26th of 2021. Despite injuries at running back, Kyle Shanahan doesn't view rookie quarterback Trey Lance as a solution to create rushing yards. Here's what Shanahan said nearly a year ago. Trey's not Lamar Jackson. Trey is a quarterback who has the ability to run. But to just line him up and run him, the game's too physical. That's what Shanahan said September 26th of 2021. Trey's a quarterback who has the ability to run, but to just line him up and run him, the game's too physical. And what did we see the first 2 games of the season this year? We saw Shanahan line up Trey Lance and just run him. And we all knew the game was too physical. Oh, Roquan Smith. We're lucky Roquan Smith didn't put him on a cart last week. But Trey Lance didn't even make it 2 weeks. Didn't even make it 2 weeks, Shasky.
Well, the thing that's frustrating me, and then you're going to see this narrative put out throughout the entire year, is, oh, well, the offense looks slightly better with Jimmy Garoppolo. And they let him throw the ball a little more, and literally they were like clearly defined. Again, just watch the games, people. I tell you, watch the games. Clearly defined throws, simple, easy. Deebo Samuel ran a screen. Ross Dwelly's wide open. Wasn't even close. Like the play last week that everyone was losing their minds about that Trey missed on that throw to Croft over the top, the wheel route to the tight end. Dwelly's wide open on that play, and I'm saying, where was that for Trey Lance? I mean, you could have ran over and handed him the ball. There was nobody in between the quarterback and the tight end on those plays. And so, look, whether you want to say that Kyle Shanahan doesn't trust Trey Lance, you want to say that the offense flows a little more.
Well, then why'd you draft him number 3 overall?
It goes right back to Shanahan.
If you didn't think he could throw the damn ball,
my point.
Why didn't you go get Mac Jones?
That's my point. Why
didn't you go get Mac Jones?
And if you want to use him as a running back, then why are you wasting 3rd and 4th round picks yearly on running backs and then cutting them a year later?
It makes no sense. Let's go to Bay Rob.
And you were running the ball well in that game.
I know.
You didn't even need to use the quarterback to run.
You didn't. You ran him on 3rd and 6 on the first possession. 3rd and 6. Got a first down, but you ran it right up the damn middle. Bay Rob, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, fellas. I just want to let you know, number one, y'all ain't crazy, because I'm feeling the same way, bro. I just totally don't understand. If Trey Lance is our asset, why was this dude running him like that? I felt he was running him like he was running RG3, bro. I was like living that same moment of RG3 yesterday. I didn't understand it. Vontae, we was at game 1. He was doing that to him in the rain. I didn't understand it, bro.
Sure was.
Shanahan got me confused, bro, and he got me feeling a certain type of way. Why did you even go get Trey Lance, and you knew Trey Lance wasn't even ready, bro? I don't even think that's his field over there to try to go draft a quarterback, bro, because now we got stuck in the mud at point A. You know what I'm saying? This dude finna miss years.
I know.
He's way behind the 8 ball. Well, so I'm feeling a certain type of way, bro.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you.
I'm feeling the same way, too.
Thanks, Bay Rob.
And here's the
Good
thing.
to hear from you, Bay Rob.
So, like, the quarterback, the development, trying to get to the next level, just put that to the side. From a business standpoint, all right? Your franchise quarterback, forget the names, remove all the names. The franchise quarterback that you traded all these assets for, and the reason why you got him is so that you could suppress the salary of the quarterback to pay a bunch of other guys that you believe to be a Super Bowl winning roster, okay? You're not even capitalizing on that because he A, didn't play in year 1, and then B, got hurt right away. Then you're running him into the ground because you're telling me that's the best way to win with him now, then you're not doing your job. No. Had Mike Nolan done this exact same thing with Trey Lance,
we want his head. We want his head. Heads would roll. Heads would roll. The fact that Shanahan is going to get into year 7 in what feels like a lifetime contract with the 49ers. It's going to go into year 7, Chasky, and we're still going to have question marks about the quarterback. Year 7. I've been screaming about this forever. Whether it's Brady, whether it's Stafford, whether it's Watson, whether it's Mahomes, whether it's Hoyer, whether it's Cousins, we're about to go into year 7. And hell, the Niners may have to bring Jimmy Garoppolo back.
Well, I don't even want to. Look at today.
No, I'm dead serious.
I know what you're saying.
I'm dead serious. He's got a broken ankle. He hasn't played football in 3 months, 3 years. Excuse me. He has no reps. No reps. We don't even know who Trey Lance is. I don't even know who he is.
No one
I think he could be really good, but I don't know.
But there's the whole point of playing him this year was to see what he was going to be, and we're robbed of that. And I just go back to the same thing. Head coach's job is to keep the quarterback healthy, win games, and develop him. That was the job heading into this year. They haven't done those. I mean, just straight up. It is what it is. The thing that's frustrating for me, I've been the biggest Shanahan supporter. Between you and me, we've been arguing about Shanahan and quarterback and this and that. I can't defend him today. And they won the game by 20, and I can't defend him today. I can't. I'm not sitting here asking for the guy to be fired. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I've defended him every step of the way. All the bad losses, all of the different roster decisions, you jump up to go get Reuben Foster, jump backwards to get Solomon Thomas. I've defended every single thing, not taking a quarterback in year 1, trading for Jimmy Garoppolo. You name it, I've been there defending him every step of the way. I can't defend him this morning, and that's the part that's just, I don't know what to say.
People are starting to see the real about Shanahan. He's not a genius. Hell, we forget that this is Shanahan's first go-round as an NFL head coach. It's his first go-round. A lot of guys get it wrong their first time around. Ask Bill Belichick. He got fired Got fired in Cleveland. Didn't work out for him.
Did you see what was going down with Miami yesterday? Tua. We all agree Tua
threw for 462 yards yesterday.
But we all agree that Tua is probably mediocre in terms of physical skill set, right? I watched a coach go to that podium in Mike McDaniels and empower the young man. Not oh my God, we missed this throw
he
on
empowered
edge.
him.
He said, I want this kid to just have fun and do the things that he's good at, and we'll try to hide some of the things that he's not good
Shanahan's
at.
never done that. What have I said the whole time during Jimmy Garoppolo?
You've been hitting
I said,
you've been hitting it.
How about Shanahan? Just like the one thing about Jim Harbaugh. Say what you want about Jim Harbaugh.
He empowered
Jim
Alex.
Harbaugh looked at Alex Smith and told him,
you're
the greatest quarterback in the league.
You're right.
Now, he was lying. We all knew that wasn't true. But he looked at Alex Smith every game and said, clutch. That's what you do. Clutch. Empowered him. I've been saying this for 5 years now. Shanahan, can you just put your arm around Jimmy Garoppolo and maybe help his psyche out a little bit? Instead, you want to be, you want to be hard on these guys. This ain't high school. You're not Nick Saban at Alabama.
Andy Reid and all like Sean Payton, they're all empowering their quarterbacks.
They're all empowering their quarterbacks. I don't get that from
Even
Shanahan.
McVay, when he moved off of Goff, leading up to the whole thing, no one would have known that he didn't like Goff.
So Trey Lance in 4 starts in a preseason game against the Raiders, running the ball and stuff like that. Had a bad finger, broken finger, knee injury because you had him running into the goal line against 2 dudes looking like a fullback, trying to truck people at the goal line. A quarterback trying to truck dudes at the goal line.
Again, they have a wide receiver who's a running back. They have a tight end who's a right tackle. And then they have a quarterback who plays fullback. So, he's just smarter than you.
So he's had 3 serious injuries in limited playing time. So now the young man may be brittle. And you spent 3 first-round picks, number 3 overall. How does a regime get away with this? How? Solomon Thomas, Reuben Foster, Mike McGlinchey. We still don't know about Kinlaw. We don't know about Ayuk. And now your number 3 overall pick, a quarterback who you traded 3 first-round picks for, may not play until he's not playing until next year.
And you're just doing the first-round picks? Now go through the second-round picks. Debo's really the only shining light of all those second-round picks. How's Aaron Banks looking? How's that D Ford trade look? How about Dante Pettis? Like, just go down the list and look at all of their draft capital.
I'm not even trying to, it's just the truth.
No, it's
we
reality.
Have the Trey package today. We have the Shanahan package. We have the Jimmy package. We're going to take your calls coming up on the other side, and I've got plenty of sound from Kyle Shanahan, his father Mike Shanahan, Kyle Juszczyk, because I want to get into something that I saw online, and it kind of capped off.
It was
a week of nasty coverage.
I'm with you.
When it came to Trey Lance. A week of just nasty coverage. Disgusting. We're going to do that on the other side. Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep. We have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Gorgeous gaming, stunning streams, unbelievable bandwidth. It's another Lifestyles of Gagillionaires. Meet the AT&T Fiber customers winning at life with hyper-gig speeds. Meet Gagillionaire Terry. While his love of streaming horror movies has him constantly on the edge of his seat, his internet bill won't give him a scare.
Oh, don't go in there. I'm telling you.
Because since Terry upgraded to AT&T Fiber with hyper-gig speeds, he doesn't worry about data caps or equipment fees.
Come on, man. The door's open for a reason.
And best yet, he also doesn't stress about a price increase at 12 months, because with the amazing Gagillionaire lifestyle comes an exquisite sense of tranquility. Most of the time. Live like a Gagillionaire. Get straightforward pricing with AT&T Fiber. Internet that upgrades everything. No data caps, no equipment fees, and no price increase at 12 months.
Limited availability in select areas. Visit att.com/hypergig for details.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS, have unfiled returns, or are worried about an audit, the IRS is hiring 87,000 new agents to address these very issues. That means if you need to get your tax problems resolved, now is the time to get started. I'm tax attorney Robert Goldstein, and my firm specializes in helping individuals and small businesses resolve their tax problems. We work to stop IRS and state seizures. We may be able to settle your tax debt for pennies on the dollar with an offer in compromise. We prepare your past due returns, even if you have no records, and represent you before the IRS and state in an audit. At the law offices of Robert Goldstein, the consultation is always free, and we have offices located throughout the Bay Area. To schedule your free consultation, call 1-888-TAX-EXIT. That's 888-TAXEXIT. 888-TAX-EXIT, and make us your last stop.
Elise and Carl's Bakery needed a small business loan fast, but instead of going to On Deck, Carl called
Lone Falcon! Really? Carl?
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. Go to OnDeck.com, and if approved, get your loan as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah Chartered Industrial Bank member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to GetRefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
Man, I slept.
New ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep is made for people who are tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
A melatonin-free sleep aid made with a botanical blend that contains clinically studied and effective valerian root, hops, and passion flower, shown to help promote better restorative sleep. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep. Sleep this good. Feel this good. Available at retailers near you.
Today's Throwback Thought is brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let's take some callers. Tony from Houston. Any throwbacks for us?
Yeah, hi. I remember when you could get a whole meal for just $6. But now?
You still can with KFC's 2-piece drum and thigh combo. Crispy chicken, mashed potatoes, a biscuit, and a drink for just $6.
Is this an ad?
Thanks, Tony. Order KFC's 2-piece drum and thigh combo on the KFC app for just $6. That's finger licking good. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Tax extra.
What's your retirement look like? With Fidelity Income Planning, a dedicated advisor can help you create a flexible income strategy to grow and protect your wealth so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services member NYSE SIPC.
Breaking news on 95.7 The Game is brought to you by Beat the Street. For tips to win a $5.6 million prize. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. Oh my God!
What's going on, Roasters? It's Brian Baldinger with the NFL Network, and you're listening to The Morning Roast with Bonte and Shasky on 95.7 The Game.
Baldy, join us tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. on the Morning Roast, as he does every single Tuesday. And boy, he was right about Mike McDaniel. He's got Miami rolling. The Dolphins improved to 2-0. Tua throws for 462 yards. We'll talk to Baldy about how the Niners beat the Seahawks for their first win of the season, 27-7. And a lot of people were happy about the win, and a lot of people felt like me and Shasky. My guys, Diego and Zuri, who sit in section 227 next to me. All game long, we're like, it's just a weird vibe.
It was so weird.
Just a weird vibe.
Sun, rain, sun. Jimmy's on the field. People are cheering. Some people aren't. I was like in a comatose.
Yeah, it was.
The kid's in an air cast.
The kid's in the air cast. He's going to have surgery today. He's out for the season. But I want to, before we get to the lines, what I saw yesterday capped off a week of just nasty coverage on Trey Lance. And Colin Cowherd said what he said, talking about it's not the NBA, dude. You can't be the show. Like, just whatever. Cowherd, I've been told you about Cowherd. He's a fraud. I don't listen to him. I think it's a joke. But what I saw from a segment of 49er fans yesterday was just disgusting. Now, you and I, Shasky, have never rooted for Jimmy Garoppolo to fail.
I'm going to rally behind whoever the quarterback is.
Want him to win.
Yeah.
I never wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to say, hey, man, we want to throw 3 picks and play Trey Lance and prove a point. No, that's not how it works with us. Especially not me. Like, I don't
think I went
roll
down
like
to
that.
SoFi Stadium so that I could watch my team lose?
Yeah. No, that's silliness.
You think I spent all my money to go see this guy lose? No, I wanted to win. I want to win the Super Bowl.
But the nastiness yesterday I saw from a segment of 49er fans. The minute Trey Lance got hurt and Jimmy Garoppolo came trotting on that field, I look at my Instagram feed, I look at my Twitter feed, and people are smiling ear to ear with their Jimmy jerseys saying, Jimmy's back, Jimmy's back, which tells me you were rooting against Trey Lance, which is pathetic. There was 2 scoreboards for some people. Guru always has his 2 scoreboards, the win, loss, and then the quarterbacks. People literally had their 2 scoreboards, hoping that Trey Lance would be inconsistent so they could see Jimmy back on the field. Now, it may have happened like that. It may have happened like that in week 6, week 7 if Trey Lance struggled. But nothing yesterday told me that Trey Lance was going to struggle. Trey Lance looked good to start. But people are rooting against Trey to fail just so the guy could go play quarterback. And to me, that is disgusting. That is disgusting behavior. How can you call yourself a fan when you're rooting against the starting quarterback of your football team because you like the backup better? That's pathetic, folks. And it's not everybody, but I saw a lot of people do that. And I thought that was just gross and disgusting.
There's just so much to take away from yesterday. Like, this whole thing that they had to run Trey because they wanted to win, and it's the only way that he's going to have any glimmer of success. I watched them throw with Jimmy Garoppolo a bunch of very basic underneath throws, a screen to Debo, a couple little stick routes. Trey hit a stick route. He only had 2 completions. One was the Texas route to the running back. The other one was the stick route to Ayuk, which he hit him in stride and helped him put a perfect ball placement. The guy went upfield. It was a super simple throw. But we're acting like he can't complete a pass 4 yards. Like, that's kind of the narrative around this thing, that he has to run. It's the only way they can win. They can literally just hand the ball off to guys. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't run. Like last year, Jimmy Garoppolo barely passed effectively down the stretch. And I'm not knocking Jimmy. I'm explaining the context. And yet they still ran Debo Samuel very effectively without the threat of the RPO, without the threat of other guys.
Right.
So I don't understand why they had to go to that. There's a reason Baltimore, and I don't agree with them, but Lamar Jackson's an outlier. He's a unicorn. And there's a reason Baltimore is just a little worried about paying him $200 million guaranteed.
Because of all the running.
Because it's unsustainable. The most predictable thing in the world is, let me run this guy through the tackles and pray that he stays healthy. This guy's valuable to you. I mean, he's so valuable to you and Trey Lance. And when you're doing that, it tells me you don't see the value that everyone else sees in the league. Why do you think these quarterbacks are getting $200 million deals? They can get hurt on any play. This is about risk mitigation and putting a guy in a position to stay upright all year and showcase that he can develop. And I think that he failed them as a coach on those aspects.
Yeah, I do too. Here's Mike Shanahan on Undisputed. This is interesting because a lot of people started talking about RG3. And we all watched RG3 that season, and then we watched him go into the next season. His knee was shot.
Oh, he was done.
He was done. Now, I get the play, he got hurt. It was a bad snap, and his knee gave in on that bad turf, but he was not 100% in that football game.
Yeah.
He was struggling, trying to move around. Struggling. Well, Mike Shanahan discussed on who he wanted to see RG3 be a quarterback, and RG3 also discussed, hey, I want to be Aaron Rodgers. Here's a couple clips from Mike Shanahan on Undisputed a few years ago.
Right after the Cleveland game, he came back and he said, hey, I don't want to run the read option anymore. I said, why? Because Kirk, we beat Cleveland 38-31, and Kirk played very well.
He did.
And he said, well, if Kirk doesn't have to run it, why do I have to run it? I said, you know what? Kirk is not a read option guy. He's never run that before. You have. And I said, you can do some things that no quarterback can do. Just keep on using this, and it will take some time. But you're going to get this drop-back passing game down. But you have to run what we've been doing to keep you healthy. And so it went south from there.
And it went south from there because RG3 was like, I don't want to run no more. I don't want to run. I want to be a quarterback.
Well, I mean, this is the biggest disconnect for me is that Trey has to run, yet in college, they were under center. Like, the whole point of the North Dakota offense was he was under center.
Running boot action and throwing to the tight ends.
Running
and
a pro offense.
Running a pro offense, throwing the ball down the field,
now,
throwing the ball from the pocket.
Was mobility an element of his game?
Absolutely.
Of course it was. But running a guy in between the tackles on design quarterback runs, whether they're RPOs or not, I mean, you're playing with fire. Like, can we admit this? Bonte, every sport now has risk mitigation. There's a pitch count in baseball for a reason, all right? There's load management in basketball for a reason. There's kind of science behind, like, hey, we kind of know that, like, you're playing with fire if you expose a guy to X, Y, and Z amount of times out there. When you run your quarterback on pace for 230 carries like he's Derrick Henry, don't be mad when he snaps his ankle.
Well, I just shocked. I keep thinking of Shanahan on the private jet when they were like, he was drawing up these plays for Trey Lance. What plays were they?
That play, the RPO.
Because those quarterback powers look like an offense from Notre Dame back in 1956.
It looked like Tebow.
It was awful.
Like Tebow.
Well, here's more on Shanahan, Mike Shanahan on RG3.
And so the read option was a part that we ran maybe 20% of the time, 15% of the time with the play action game off of it, but it utilized his skills. And all of a sudden, when you got away from the read option and you went to the drop back game, Robert really got better. And the year we won 7 games in a row, he went from 31st in the NFL in third downs to the top 5. We kept it simpler for him. What we did is we said, hey, Robert, just go look at 2 guys, either run it or dump it off. And that's one of the reasons we won 7 in a row.
Here's the last.
I was really disappointed in myself because I knew where Robert was going. I knew where his dad was going. I know where Dan Schneider was going. It was up to me to convince this guy that, hey, if you don't run the drop back game, if you don't take your game, it's not there now, but you can get there. I blame myself for not getting to the kid. He really believed he was Aaron Rodgers. And in his mind, he believed he was Aaron Rodgers. I said, you know what? You're not Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is not you.
Or Peyton Manning.
Or Peyton Manning. In time, though, you can learn the drop back game. And you will get better, but you got to do some of the things that we've been doing your rookie year just to keep the defenses off you.
So what do you make out of that from Mike Shanahan? Because he had a quarterback basically crying, saying, I don't want to run read options. Or RG3 career was shot after that. It was shot after that stint in Washington. He didn't want to run the ball like that. Now, I get it. He wasn't a drop-back quarterback, but he wanted to learn. Teach me. Donovan McNabb learned from Andy Reid.
I think the question that I keep coming back to, and this is kind of the question that the Niners put themselves in this year, it's the how much do you care about winning today's game versus overall development? Because you're going to lose a game here and there in today's world trying to make the long-term gains. Like some of the other quarterbacks, whether it's Herbert or Josh Allen that you want to point to, that people want to point to, those guys weren't on quote-unquote win-now teams. And I feel like they kind of put themselves and boxed themselves into this situation. And Look, I still believe they could have won games by just handing the ball off to running backs. They were gashing them via the run.
Yeah.
I don't think the quarterback run last year was a part of the playbook, and yet they still won 10, 11 games. And don't tell me that Jimmy Garoppolo played the game the way Peyton Manning does, throwing it downfield.
The reality of the situation is they may have missed on the number 3 overall pick.
Probably.
After giving up all these
now,
picks for Trey Lance. In a quarterback class that was rich, with Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, and Trevor Lawrence, who Trevor Lawrence probably had his best game as a pro yesterday against the Colts. You may have botched another first-round pick. We haven't gotten to the second-round picks. But this may be another botched first-round pick. How does a regime survive like that?
They have to win. I mean, they have to win. They have to. I mean, that's really what it is. You have to win.
So now the expectations again is Super Bowl or bust?
I don't know.
With Jimmy Garoppolo,
I don't even know if I'm ready to recalibrate with the Jimmy Garoppolo. Not today. I don't know. I get where you're coming from, B.
You get where I'm
I do. I get
now
where
you
you're
get the veteran, and now you got everybody happy that Jimmy's back.
That feels like an instant pivot to the other side of the room, and I don't know if I'm ready to do that.
The 49ers have already done it.
Well, I mean, I'm seeing some of the jubilation and them rallying behind Jimmy Garoppolo. You can't tell me that this was a unified locker room. It felt very fractured. All right, just like the fan base right now feels very fractured.
No doubt. RJ and Fremont, what's happening? You're on the Morning Roast here on 95.7 The Game.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking my call. But I'm just frustrated, man. I just want to start off by saying watching Trey Lance on that cart, going into the locker room, man, that was hard to see, just the look on his face. But I'm just frustrated, man, because I waited so long to watch Trey Lance ball this season. And I didn't really get a glimpse of him in week 1 because of whatever, the rain. But now we waited a year and a half to watch him, and this is what we came up with. We spent so many draft picks on this guy, and we still don't know what he is.
No clue.
That's why I'm frustrated. And to sit there and watch Kyle Shanahan on that podium be arrogant as hell, and to take no accountability for this mistake. Why we ran 2 running plays, and I was like, oh, this quarterback is going to get hurt if he keeps running this. And then next thing you know, oh, he's hurt. I already knew. I mean, Jimmy's in there. I'm glad he's there. But here's the thing. We know what Jimmy is. He can't throw outside 20 yards. Look, he's a middle, 15 yards or less. We know what Jimmy is. We know what we're going to get with Jimmy.
Here's the irony.
The reason why Trey Lance is...
Here's the irony. Forget like the elevation portion.
Thanks, RJ, for the call.
Trey to we want more than Jimmy Garoppolo. Wouldn't you argue if we were just putting a pie chart together, the biggest reason why they're moving off of Jimmy Garoppolo isn't strictly performance? I would say the biggest slice is he can't stay healthy, and then you run the other guy who's going to replace the guy who couldn't stay healthy into the ground, and then he gets hurt. Like, am I taking crazy pills?
Well,
I'm asking you.
It's also on the head coach because Jimmy Garoppolo has been a scapegoat of Super Bowl 54.
Agree.
And I've said a lot of things about Jimmy Garoppolo. I've been on both sides of it. I've been his biggest fan. I've said get him out of the building. But Super Bowl 54, to this day, Jasky, because we did the post-game show, I will go to my grave blaming Shanahan as the number 1 guy for that Super Bowl loss. I look at Kyle Shanahan and the way he managed that game. And when it goes back to having your quarterbacks back, nobody had Jimmy's back when they lost that Super Bowl.
No.
He was beat down by this fan base, beat down by everybody in the national media, beat down by everybody. Shanahan, what did he do? Flirted with another quarterback. Brady. Oh, maybe we're in on Watson. Maybe we're in on Matt Stafford. Well, you missed out on Matt Stafford. McVay beat you to that punch. He beat you to that punch, and then you go get Trey Lance, and you run him like a fullback. I just don't get it. I don't get it. In the literally last year. I'm going to read this quote again after the legal. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every day on our Twitch and YouTube streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. Good morning to everybody out there. Comcast Business Text Line. I see your text as well. Literally last year, September 26th, 2021, Ed Werder of ESPN had this quote from Shanahan. Despite injuries at running back, Kyle Shanahan doesn't view rookie Trey Lance as a solution to create rushing yards. Shanahan said he's not Lamar Jackson. Trey is a quarterback who has the ability to run, but to just line him up and run him, the game's too physical. And literally does the exact opposite of what he said last year.
I know.
Literally.
I know.
I'm not trying to,
No, it's so predictable. Everyone saw it coming.
And so, Spinoni, I want to play this, Spinoni.
Everyone saw it coming.
This is literally last Wednesday, our flex moment of the show. Shasky and I talking about the game plan for Trey Lance. And 2 to 3 starts for Trey Lance so far.
Mm-hmm.
He's ran the ball 13 or more times.
It's not, I don't like that game plan. I personally don't like that.
You want to say he ran the ball because of the monsoon? Well, last year against Arizona. Why is he running the ball with all these quarterback design runs? He's a quarterback, not a running back. Let him play from the pocket and stop designing these. That's why you have running backs. That's why you have Deebo Samuel.
Well, they didn't have running backs.
They did. But you know what? Jeff Wilson Jr. is on this roster for a reason.
Yeah.
And you gave him 9 carries. All right. Jordan Mason is up, dressed. Why is he not getting carries? I don't need to see my quarterback taking multiple shots left and right all game long like he did last year at Arizona. Hurt his knee against Arizona last year because he ran the ball so damn much. All right? He's going to get hurt with this type of game plan. You drafted him because you believe he could be a great pocket quarterback. Now let's see it from the pocket.
Well, it's not just how you're using him. It's who you're throwing the ball to and who you're utilizing. Again, to sit here and go, in the second half of that game, Jeff Wilson Jr. got twice the amount of touches Then Ayuk and Debo combined?
That's a problem.
Well, I pivot back to the coach.
Right.
And you could say, oh, well, there were plays to be had and Trey didn't hit them. Okay, I'll meet you halfway.
Right.
What about a couple of design plays for Ayuk?
I'm not going to lie. This is something I'm going to be monitoring moving forward. The Shanahans ran RG3 into the ground.
So you're afraid he's going to run him into the ground?
It's something I'm looking at.
Okay.
I hope they learn their lesson from RG3. I really do. Too many carries on Sunday against the Chicago Bears. Shanahan has to be better. And that's one thing we haven't touched on. Shanahan, and I like Shanahan as a head coach. I do. I don't believe he's great yet. A lot of people say he's a genius. I'm not there yet with him.
I think he's really good.
He's a really good play caller.
I think he's really good.
But I'm not going to call him great yet. He got a pass for Super Bowl 54 from a lot of people. A lot of people gave him a pass, and we went straight to Jimmy Garoppolo. I was critical.
So that's us last week.
That's us last Wednesday. Literally last Wednesday.
Less than a week ago. Jesus.
Last Wednesday.
I'm going to keep going back.
And you saw it on the first drive. The first drive, Shasky, look at this. 2nd and 6. Lance takes a shot on an incomplete pass. 3rd and 6, he runs a quarterback power for a first down, but he gets hit by the linebackers. Again, I don't need him taking punishment for no reason. And some people are going to say slide. You know how hard it is to slide when you're running through the A-gap and linebackers are flying around?
You can slide on the sidelines. You could slide on a broken pass play where you're scrambling. Scrambling's different than running. That's the other nuance here. Yeah, you can't slide in the middle of collisions.
So you got that. 2nd and goal, took another hit on a quarterback delay. That got 2 yards. And then 3rd and goal, he took a hit on a completion to Jeff Wilson Jr. That was all on the first drive. We haven't made it to the second possession where he broke his ankle on a 2nd and 8 play on an RPO.
We already did this with Colin Kaepernick. Like, everyone agrees. You win championships by being a developed pocket passer. That's the sustainable portion of the game. Can you add elements of running? Of course.
Sure.
Bonte, he got hit 20 times last week. Hit 20 times last week. He got hit 5 times in 12 plays this week. That is a total of getting hit 350 times a year. 350 a year. Do you know how many carries Derrick Henry, when he broke the record, you know how many carries he had?
Mm-hmm.
He had 320 carries. That means you're getting hit more than Derrick Henry? Your quarterback? It was so unsustainable.
So bad.
And then if you want to go to just carries, raw carries, Carlos Hyde broke the 200-yard mark in 2017. Elijah did it last year. No other running back in the Shanahan era has had over 200 carries. This kid was on pace for 230 carries this year.
So 650, because I'm seeing a lot of this. Comcast Business Text Line. Lamar had a 76-yard touchdown yesterday. If that was Trey, every single one of you would be jumping out of your chairs. But Trey's not Lamar.
Lamar's a one of one. Lamar's a one of one.
Trey's not Josh Allen. He doesn't have wiggle like that. Trey Lance doesn't have wiggle like that. He's a guy who can escape the pocket and make plays with his legs by throwing the ball down the field and extending plays.
And escape the pocket doesn't mean running him between the tackles on a designed quarterback power play. And it might work for other people. It might work for Josh Allen. Those guys are outliers for a reason.
Let's take another call before we hit the break. Nick in Berkeley, you're on the roast here on 95.7 The Game.
Man, I'm seeing what you guys are seeing, but I'm convinced, man, that Shanahan, man, he really doesn't understand the game of football. I mean, you're a quarterback, okay? So you're being assigned to a system of the coach that the coach has. I mean, we were getting this whole pocket passer and running quarterback thing twisted. I mean, when really it's just a quarterback scrambling for his life in the NFL with a bunch of barbarians chasing him. And what cats don't understand is the fact that Trey was the type of quarterback that, okay, the pocket collapses, he can slip out of there and use his speed and just a little bit, quick in his quickness to, run out of there and not take a loss and maybe jump a pass somewhere, slide down and, avoid a loss. I mean, I don't understand why Shanahan doesn't see that. I mean, he puts his players through the meat grinder. You can't have Debo playing running back, bro. You can't have Kittles running jet sweeps. You know what I mean? You have all these weapons. You put them in space.
Lying about that.
Look at Debo when you put him in space, man. Debo was killing it in space yesterday. He took some hard hits when he ran yesterday. We couldn't even protect the edge.
Well, the medicine ball, Nick, thanks for the call. The medicine ball, Jimmy Garoppolo threw him in the middle of the field where it was for 4th and 1. Debo got cracked on both sides. It's like, damn.
Here's the other thing about the Debo thing, because I hear a lot of people, they got a 51-yard play on the exact same RPO.
He was stuffed in the backfield.
And had to break 2 or 3 tackles. Like, Debo was effective last year, and there was no threat of Jimmy Garoppolo running. Was there?
Nope.
I'm asking you sincerely.
Nope. All right, George Mondo, David, consultant. We'll get to you on the other side.
And I have an analogy I want to make. Not an analogy. I want to go back in time to the Alex Smith thing because I feel like this organization should have learned a lesson with Alex and with Kaepernick, and they haven't learned it. And it really, really, really disappoints me.
It's coming up on the game, sponsored by BMW Fairfield. You know what we're talking about. Niners beat the Hawks, but that's not the story here. That's not the story. The story is Trey Lance is out for the year with a broken ankle. Shanahan run him too much. Where you at with Kyle Shanahan this morning?
Would he have ran him this way if Jimmy wasn't on the roster?
Right.
That's a question that I have.
That's another question.
That's a question that I have.
Where we at on Kyle Shanahan this morning? That'll be brought to you by BMW Fairfield, now open in the Fairfield Auto Mall. They provide a luxurious, all-encompassing experience to address all of your BMW needs. Visit BMWFairfield.com today to book your visit. That's BMWFairfield.com.
Anytime a guy gets hurt, I wish I didn't call that. But no, that's something we were going to do.
That was quite the hit. On that power run, Lance is down, and Jimmy Garoppolo may see early action today in the first quarter.
Give us your reaction to week 2. This is the NFL!
You guys watch other teams in this league? Buffalo does it all the time. Their quarterback's pretty normal play, part of football, and it's unfortunate that he hurt his ankle on it.
This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you are looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
Pink Floyd's Roger Waters. This is not a drill.
We're doing a show in the round. It's something new. I'll look forward to the challenge.
Featuring his songs from the golden era of Pink Floyd. Friday and Saturday, September 23rd and 24th, Chase Center in San Francisco. Tickets on sale now at RogerWaters.com.
This is not a drill.
Produced by AEG Presents.
Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill September 23rd through September 25th for their fall clearance sale event and take advantage of one-of-a-kind opportunities. Visit Friedman's Appliance Fall Clearance Sale Event for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
From carriage house to glass aluminum doors, R&S Doors has a full line of commercial and residential garage doors and gates to suit anyone's taste and budget. Visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
Hi, I'm Aaron, owner of California Deluxe Windows. Ever notice? When your neighbors get new windows, there is a large black eye of broken stucco, uneven plaster, and even mismatched paint. At California Deluxe Windows, we never leave a ring around the window. Why? Because we are one of the only companies in California California who custom crafts every window and door to your home's exact measurements. Almost everyone else on the radio is a distributor. They grab a window from a warehouse, break open your walls, shove it in, and patch things up. At California Deluxe Windows, we take pride in our work. Our installation technique is so precise, we do not break your stucco. Your house could be covered with potato chips, and we wouldn't crack one.
Call now, and for a limited time, you get 30% off your entire order and 24 months of interest-free financing. 800-874-3600. 800-874-3600. That's 800-874-3600. California Deluxe Windows. Windows engineered for life.
Certain terms and conditions apply. CSLB number 774518.
For all contest rules, go to 957thegame.com/rules.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Loyalty Lab Interview 6. Subject, grandmother's loyalty. Margie, what do you do when your grandson misbehaves?
Angels don't misbehave.
Here we study the most loyal, like you and... Oh, there goes the lamp.
Shouldn't have put it there.
Shell and the Fuel Rewards program has our members' backs too. It's super easy to save on every gallon. Loyal, just like how you acted like that wasn't his fault.
Someone should clean that up before he gets hurt.
Yes, loyal, just like that.
10 years of FR.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50. Fourth down and goal here. Quarterback sneak. Jimmy Garoppolo puts it away for San Francisco. Off the bench, in for Lance, who got hurt in the first quarter. And Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown of the day.
Just like riding a bike, yeah. Felt good to be back out there. Feel terrible for Trey. I've been on that side of it. This league is tough, and everyone has their share of injuries, but that sucks for him, and feel bad for him, but he's our brother, and we'll pick him up. I saw him for a quick second after, wishing him well. Like I said, I've been there. I come full circle in this thing, and it's tough whenever you see a guy get hurt. You feel for him, but Trey's a tough dude. He'll be all right.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
That was Jimmy Garoppolo, who was 13 to 21 for 154 yards and a touchdown, completed his first 5 passes, and he looked like Jimmy Garoppolo. It looked like Jimmy Garoppolo. Did the team look better? They were moving the ball with Trey Lance yesterday, so I don't know if they look better with Jimmy Garoppolo under center. They look like a team quarterbacked by Jimmy Garoppolo.
It did feel like they threw it a little more.
Early on, they threw it a little more, and he tried to throw deep, but those balls were sailing.
How about Shanahan running an RPO for Jimmy Garoppolo down near the goal line after already injuring his other quarterback?
It's pure arrogance. Again,
I mean, what was that?
Shanahan admitted this training camp that last year there was a quarterback competition for a stint. There was. But last year, when everybody kept asking him about the quarterback, he called everybody hard-headed. Remember that? Called everybody hard-headed. Set me off. It's like, wait, we just want to know who's the quarterback. We'll stop asking you questions when you name the starting quarterback. And for some reason, he didn't want to name the starting quarterback. And so he called us hard-headed for asking the question over and over and over again. It is the arrogance that was exuding in that post-game presser yesterday. I'm sorry. I can't get down with that. Spadoni, can you play the sound of when he was asked about Trey Lance running the ball on second and net? I know you got something, Shasky. I'll let you go after this. I got to get the Shanahan sound up there. People need to hear this. Spadoni, play the sound where he was asked about running Trey Lance on 2nd and 8. We'll get that in just a second. All right, go ahead.
I'll do my thing real quick. I've been watching this team my whole life. my whole life. I've been talking about the 49ers and the quarterbacks for the 49ers with my grandfather and my dad. My grandpa goes back to 1946 Kezar. He has seen every quarterback. Frankie Albert, John Brody, Y.A. Tittle, everyone in between. Your Montanas, your Young. So did my dad. My dad's had season tickets to Candlesticks in 78. All right? We've seen it all. I've been blessed to go to so many games. This is probably my first love in terms of teams. As much as I love the Giants and the Warriors, this was the team, the gold standard team. My entire adult life, I feel like they have botched the quarterback situation. And what I'm saying is, I thought they learned from I'm talking about the organization as a whole. I thought they learned from the Alex Smith thing. They draft a kid. He's so raw. He's physically immature enough. His body wasn't big enough to even play the position. They had no weapons. They had no offensive line. Boom, he hurts his shoulder. They rush him back in there. It ends up doing the coaching and Mike Nolan. And it ends up really sabotaging Alex Smith's career for multiple years. Okay? The guy physically had his arm wrecked. Yep. And it's an accident. Accidents happen, but it's how you support these guys and put together the nurturing infrastructure so that this person can be the best version of themselves. Then he finally does have some success, and they bring in Colin Kaepernick, and we all agree, okay, Cap took him to another level. But for Cap to fully reach his maturation process, I hoped, I prayed, I wished that they could develop him as a passer. And it felt like for a variety of reasons, some internal, some external, he never got there as a passer, and he left so much to be desired. We can argue till we're blue in the face about what happened more. Was it the team? Was it the player that didn't study enough? I think it was a combination of all those things. But he never learned to throw from the pocket at a high enough clip to be the quarterback we dreamed him to be. Jimmy Garoppolo comes after being dormant for years, and I'm like, God, they got to get him an O-line. They got to empower
Get him more
this
weapons
guy.
on the outside.
Get him weapons on the outside. Keep him healthy. And it's they're working. And it felt like to me the big disconnect. Clearly he got hurt, but the coach never fully trusted him. He didn't fully empower him.
Which is why he hung out there in the offseason without a football team. The guy was throwing on another field, for crying out loud, without a playbook.
All right, and then you moved off of Jimmy Garoppolo, or at least traded to go get Trey Lance because you wanted to see, a higher ceiling, and also a big part was because Jimmy couldn't stay healthy. It was both of those things, not either or.
Couldn't stay healthy, couldn't take the top off
and
the
you
defense.
wanted him to develop. I feel like I can write a book on how to ruin a quarterback based on the 49ers history from the last 20 years.
You know what?
I really do. But I'm ready to throw up.
Listen.
I'm gutted
Maybe
for the
Craig Carton
kid.
was right. Maybe this is the most dysfunctional organization when it comes to NFL quarterbacks. Because literally last Wednesday, came on these airs where he said he's going to get hurt with this type of game plan.
I mean, we saw it coming a mile away.
He didn't even last the first quarter.
I turned to my cousin 3 plays in. I said, he's getting hit too much. I literally tweeted it out seconds before it happened.
Said it last Wednesday.
And you could see it coming.
Said it last Wednesday. I thought you drafted him because he could be a great pocket quarterback. Because on third down, he could step up and hit a throw. Unlike any of these quarterbacks we've had in the last 20 years. But no. Let's run him. Let's run him in the A-gaps. Let's treat him like a fullback. And if he's not ready to throw the ball, then why is he starting?
Well, that's the other thing that
why is he playing quarterback if he can't throw the ball?
Because they moved heaven and earth to go get him.
Why'd you draft him? These are the fair questions.
These are the fair questions.
If you don't trust this guy to throw the ball, then why'd you draft him number 3 overall? It makes no sense. Let's go to the consultant listening on the Odyssey app out there in Walnut Creek. What's up, consultant?
Oh, man. I want to say it's a great day because we got a win. I can tell you what, though, this does not feel like a Monday win day.
Agreed.
I'm with you guys, man. I was at the game yesterday, and before he got hurt, I turned to my wife and I was like, this guy's going to get injured.
Everybody
stop running it.
Everyone saw it.
Anna, my girl Anna knows nothing about football. And she was saying it in Chicago last week. Was like, man, he's running a lot for a quarterback. She literally said that last week, let alone this week.
Yeah, totally. And I was looking it up yesterday. You know, they keep on talking about Josh Allen. Even Josh Allen, last year, he had a pass-to-throw rating or ratio. It was like 3.5 to 1. Yeah. You were running Trey Lance at 1.8 to 1. And at the end of the day, you know what, guys? It's like there's the human element, and then there's the team. If I start with the team, we might just be fine. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo's taken us to a Super Bowl. He's taken us to an NFC Championship game, and there might be a good enough team around him. That defense came through yesterday, 0 points allowed. We might get to the Super Bowl again. I don't know.
Yeah.
The human element here, man.
You're breaking up a little.
It's a great point, and I want to finish this point because the human element is so true. Think about this. Just think about this team. At every time, Kyle has had somebody who's on his you-know-what list. Think about it. Think about it from the beginning until now. There's always somebody, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. It's always someone. And I know people like this in my life where they have to have an enemy at all times or they have to have somebody that they're beefing with at all times. Don't you know people like that?
Yep.
Like, does Andy Reid beef with players and alienate guys?
No. Hey, you know,
I'm asking now, does McVay? Like last year, remember at the beginning of the year, it wasn't even Trey and Jimmy. It was Ayuk. Oh,
it was Ayuk. He's in the doghouse.
Ayuk. And now look, when you have one, I can say, hey, that's an isolated guy. But
Dante
every
Pettis.
year, it's somebody.
Dante Pettis.
Oh, the guy who beat you?
415 Comcast Business Text Line. All you guys are doing is creating more negative vibes around the team. That's what you guys did this entire Trey and Jimmy era. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Keep hating. Go Niners. Nobody's hating on the 49ers. I spent my hard-earned money to go to Dallas and the NFC Championship last year and watch my 49ers.
Yeah, I have season tickets. You have season tickets.
I love this team.
And I'm paying full price for everything. I brought
this team.
5 people to the game yesterday and spent a boatload of money. You know why? Because I love this team.
Diego and Zuri. I bought beers to the entire row. Entire row, 6 at 227. We all had beers. We all had a good time. But we all felt sick for Trey. All felt sick about it. And we're not creating anything. Now it's Jimmy's team. Moving forward, it's Jimmy's team. And now, since everybody wanted Jimmy Garoppolo, a lot of people all of a sudden became Jimmy Garoppolo fans, which came out of nowhere, right? Jimmy re-signs, and all of a sudden, oh, yeah, we got number 10 back. Didn't hear that. Wasn't the same energy all offseason. Okay, we're going to rally behind number 10.
Of course we're going to rally behind
I want the
them.
Niners to kick the Broncos' ass next Sunday Night Football, and I want them to go to the Super Bowl because we all want a Lombardi.
Exactly.
We all want a Lombardi.
You want the Nick Foles situation in reverse, or however you want to break it down.
But you cannot tell me from day one of the Shanahan-Lynch era, they have botched the quarterback situation. They drafted C.J. Beathard in the 3rd round, and midway through the year, they said, oh, snap, we're screwed. We don't have a quarterback. Let's trade for Jimmy.
And I defended them, and looking back, I feel like I can't anymore.
Bill Belichick gifted them Jimmy Garoppolo. What if Belichick was like, I'm going to keep Garoppolo? Who the hell knows who would have been the quarterback of the 49ers? That's the cool part. So you admit that you don't scout Mahomes and Watson. Probably something I wouldn't admit. Something I wouldn't admit. I would keep that close to the vest. I'm sorry. I'm not admitting that. Especially when you draft C.J. Beathard in the 3rd round and you're waiting on Kirk Cousins. So Kirk Cousins is not an option anymore. So now you got Jimmy. You give him $137.5 million, but you don't wrap your arms around Jimmy. And then all these stories about Jimmy goes to the team and all that stuff. All these smoke screens about Jimmy Garoppolo. Why nobody nipped that in the bud? Nobody. Shanahan didn't seem to nip it in the bud. Did you tell Jimmy, oh, we're going to flirt with Tom Brady? And then, you know what? We don't want Tom Brady.
The worst part of the Tom Brady story was they assessed he was finished.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
So now you're assessing that Brady's finished. He's obviously not finished. Now I got to question the assessment of Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance could be really good. Now, after seeing him with a broken ankle, I don't care if he's 22, 23 years old. The fact is, he's not going to play football for 3 years.
Is it fair for me to ask you, like, hey, the guy that the Niners were going to hire before he ended up going to the Rams, Sean McVay, would he have utilized Trey Lance, given what we saw in college, the way the kid was under center, would he have used him this way? I'm asking you.
I don't think so. McVay would have protected his guy. Let's go back out to the lines. Mondo, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm like everyone else, I'm frustrated, but this is coaching malpractice on Shanahan, man. Since day one, I remember last year when I called you guys after the Texas game. This is not the guy. This is not a quarterback whisperer, man. Even his dad won with John Elway. After that, he didn't win anything else. This guy does not develop quarterbacks well. How you see Brian Daboll now with the Giants 2-0? How do you see Doug Peterson? You see what he's doing with Mitch Lawrence? He's looking good out there. And we got Shanahan here. I mean, come on, man. Running quarterback power like he's over here, Mike Allstott? What are we doing, Shanahan? I mean, and all the media out here doesn't even put him in the hot seat. He should be in the hot seat, And moving forward, this team better win the Super Bowl now that GBG is supposedly going to be our quarterback. Because if not, if it was Trey, I would have taken a playoff appearance, win one or lose one, been good. But now we need to win the Super Bowl. So Shanahan is on the hot seat. And young Trey, hope you get blessed, you get better. And as soon as you get out of San Francisco, If Shanahan's still here, get out of San Francisco, man, because this guy's going to run you like RG3. He's going to run you to the ground. And this guy's not a quarterback whisperer. That's all I got.
All right, Mondo. Good call there. We got to go to the hotline. Let's get him in. Papa Shasky's on the line. Papa Shasky, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Good morning, fellas. Our hearts are heavy this morning, and it's just a shame. You know, let me set this up for you. So I'm down in San Diego over the weekend for the first time, and I'm half an hour before the game, I'm scouting around looking for a sports bar so I can see the game. I go to 2 or 3 different places, and they're not going to be able to show the game for me. I end up limping back to the hotel. I'm sitting in the lobby watching the stupid, I don't know what game was on, and I'm on my phone, and the game starts, and I'm on my phone with the little Comcast, and I'm seeing the little field where the arrow goes back and forth, and I see that there's a play where there was a pass interference and the 49ers go down the field. The next thing I see, I'm waiting. Trey Lance injured. I just literally screamed in my hands, "Are you kidding me? No, no, no." And I'm going, this is what we didn't want. And I'm so frustrated. And I'm running around trying to find it because I couldn't see the play. And then the kid from the outside comes in. He says, "I think Trey broke his ankle." And I go, "Are you kidding me? Oh my God." And I couldn't see the play. And it was so frustrating. And then I'm going on Twitter, and it doesn't come up fast enough. And I couldn't find out. I'm trying to find out what's going on. It just killed me to find out what happened. Then when I saw the one picture where the ankle was sideways, it reminded me of when I broke my leg. So it's just so devastating. And I felt for both of you guys out there at the game. And I texted Joe. Joe didn't see my thing. I was just so frustrated for the 49er fans. We really wanted to see what this kid could do. My only take is that, you know, with the RPO, does he think he maybe took on a little too much of his own, that he was trying to do too much because of what happened last week, and he took a lot of blame for what happened last week, which means he really stepped out as a mature young kid to take that blame, and he tried to do too much this week? I don't know. You guys tell me.
It's interesting. Well, I mean, look, you've seen him play now in a couple of games. Wouldn't you agree? Like, he's getting hit way too many times. There's no way he was going to last the whole year.
And I don't want to say that, you know, that the Seattle was gunning for him, you know, but, you know, you don't run that guy up the middle. I know the middle was the open spot because it was open, but you don't really run him that many times. We've said this over and over. Every talk show has been saying, don't run him. I just don't get it. He's not ready to be running. He's not that big a guy to be running up the middle.
He's not that quick. He's not that fast. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Josh Allen.
Pops, when Montana went down.
We're running the ball decent.
When Montana went down or Steve Young went down, didn't we always criticize the head coach for not protecting the quarterback?
It's, you know, football is a freak thing. People get injured like that. It just was. How did we just know that it was going to happen?
Because they're running him into a brick wall.
Written into the cards that this guy's going to come out and he's going to get injured. I mean, we all worried about it, and then it came to fruition. It's just so frustrating.
Thanks, Pops. It is frustrating. But you know what? Niners got to win. They're 1-1, and they beat the Seahawks. I get it. It's an afterthought right now.
I don't know how to eat that pill, but we have to eat that pill.
I know.
Yeah, no doubt.
Thanks, Pops. I love you, buddy.
Look.
And we're always going to be Niner fans through and through.
Exactly.
No doubt. Everybody's going to have to play for the guy next to him now.
A lot of people got revisit his history. Nobody ever on this show rooted against Jimmy Garoppolo. We didn't root for him to lose. But the head coach told you, I don't trust the quarterback, so I'm going to go get another quarterback. And we wanted to see that new quarterback in Trey Lance. We wanted to see that new shiny toy, and we saw glimpses. We got little teases of it, right? Little appetizers. And it was like, man, this guy could be really good. But, man, the way they ran him this year, the way they ran him in Arizona, again, in Arizona last year, Trey Lance, 16 carries, 89 yards. Against the Texans, 8 carries, 31. Last week against Chicago, 13 carries, 54 yards. 3rd and 6, first possession, you run up on a quarterback draw. You get the first down, but it's unnecessary punishment. He got hit 4 straight plays on that drive.
Would they have ran him as much as they did early on if Jimmy wasn't on the roster?
I don't know that answer.
Because now we're playing this game. I'm seeing a lot of people, thank God they were smart enough to keep Jimmy.
No. They were not smart enough to keep Jimmy. They looked into Jimmy Garoppolo. That's one thing I will not do this morning. And I hope we get John Lynch on the show. I hope we get Shanahan on the show one day. They looked into Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy's a nice guy. Jimmy's been the most disrespected 49er I can ever recall. I can remember. He's disrespected. He's helped them win a lot of big games. He's been part of some big games. He helped change this franchise around. The franchise was changed the minute he came to Santa Clara. But let's not give the Niners credit for bringing back, restructuring Jimmy Garoppolo. They lucked into Jimmy Garoppolo. They couldn't find a trade partner. They held him out for some reason. They wanted first-round picks for Jimmy. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get second-round picks. Because if they would have got offered 2 second-round picks like they said they did, they would have traded him. They would have traded him for 2 seconds. They didn't. They lucked into Jimmy Garoppolo. So they don't get any credit for having Jimmy Garoppolo back on the team as an insurance policy. They lucked into that move.
Do you think that they would have run Trey Lance the same amount if it was Sudfeld and Purdy instead of Purdy and Garoppolo behind him?
Don't know.
What do you think? What do you feel?
I don't know, Shaq.
I can't even
answer. I don't know. Because
I'm not sure either. Not sure either.
So there's a couple things here we're going to play. We're going to replay our flex moment from last Wednesday. We're going to replay that right now. Spinoni hit it, and we'll fade it down. I'll let you know when it faded down. This is literally Shasky and I last Wednesday about the game plan for Trey Lance. In 2 to 3 starts for Trey Lance so far, he's ran the ball 13 or more times.
It's not. I don't like that game plan. I personally don't like that.
You want to say he ran the ball because of the monsoon? Well, last year against Arizona. Why is he running the ball with all these quarterback design runs? He's a quarterback, not a running back. Let him play from the pocket and stop designing these. That's why you have running backs. That's why you have Deebo Samuel.
Well, they didn't have running backs.
They didn't. But you know what? Jeff Wilson Jr. is on this roster for a reason.
Yeah.
And you gave him 9 carries. All right. Jordan Mason is up, dressed. Why is he not getting carries? I don't need to see my quarterback taking multiple shots left and right all game long like he did last year at Arizona. Hurt his knee against Arizona last year because he ran the ball so damn much. All right? He's going to get hurt with this type of game plan. You drafted him because you believe he could be a great pocket quarterback. Now let's see it from the pocket.
Well, it's not just how you're using him, it's who you're throwing the ball to and who you're utilizing. Again, to sit here and go, in the second half of that game, Jeff Wilson Jr. got twice the amount of touches than Ayuk and Deebo combined.
That's a problem.
Well, I'd pivot back to the coach. Right. And you could say,
pivot back to the coach.
Again, because play calling is extremely important to me and putting guys in a position to not only develop and get better, but stay healthy. To me, like the head coach's job, when you do what they did, which is one of the boldest things, and I credit them for being bold and swinging big, but when you go up to go get this guy and you trade what they traded and you do it at the point of where their cycle is with this roster, it is on you to do one of 2 things. Win games, clearly. That's number one. Everyone win games. Of course they have to win games. But it's also up to you to not just develop the young man that you've selected, but to keep him healthy throughout the year. That is the job. Safety. Risk mitigation. Can injuries happen? Of course they can happen. Herbert got hurt in the pocket. I told you about Jim Burt hurting Joe Montana back in the day in the pocket. Yep. Okay, if he gets hurt in the pocket, I get it. If he gets hurt, throwing and he hits somebody's finger on the helmet like Russell Wilson did or Dak Prescott, hey, man, those happen. When you run a guy between the tackles and get him lit up from both sides by the linebacker, you have to take some accountability for that.
Think about that. He's running quarterback powers against Roquan Smith. We all love Roquan Smith from Georgia. He's going to be a free agent after the season. He's a hitter. And you got number 5 running quarterback powers right at the A-gap. Behind. The worst part about all this is we all identify the offensive line as being the weakest positional group on this football team. So you got Jake Brindle, who nobody knows. Hell, you could have told me he was a UPS supervisor last week, and I would have believed you. All right? You get Aaron Banks, who's trying to find his way in the league, but was inactive his entire rookie season. He was inactive because he wasn't able to play left guard. He wasn't good enough. And he got another rookie in Spencer Burford, who was drafted in the middle rounds. He looks like he could be a player, but he's a rookie.
Well, thank God he's better than what you thought, because imagine what the line would be if he was worse.
So this whole thing with Lamar and Josh Allen, all these dudes running the ball.
Those guys are outliers.
They built their teams around them, quarterbacks to help protect them and maximize them. Did the 49ers try to maximize Trey Lance's value this offseason? Did they?
I thought that they were trying to throw everything at him and give him the opportunity, but when you don't have an offensive line in front of the guy that's as robust as I would like, I mean, Jake Brendel, I'm asking you sincerely, who's he starting on in the NFL?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know.
I mean, so that I look at the offensive line. And then the other part is, why do you keep drafting running backs and telling me you can plug and play anyone at running back, and then you're playing your quarterback out of the running back spot? That, to me, is doing a disservice.
I'm not asking for Kyle Shanahan's job.
None of us did.
I'm not
we haven't
doing
said that.
I don't think he should be fired. However, when
an ounce of culpability would be nice.
And we're going to play some sound of arrogance, which is appalling. But if you take a step back and you think about him going into his 7th year next year, because he's still got a full season left, he's going to be a 7th-year head coach, and he may be looking for a quarterback again. How many coaches and GMs get the opportunity the last 7 years after all these failed picks? Solomon Thomas, number 3 overall. All right, Reuben Foster, number 31 overall. Mike McGlinchey, 9 overall. You landed Bosa because Arizona had to take a quarterback.
You get credit. Because he could have been Quinnen Williams.
Could have been Quinnen Williams. Javon Kinlaw, still a question mark. Brendan Ayuk, we think he could be really good. Got to see it. And then Trey Lance, right now, the number 3 overall pick in Trey Lance, that's a bust right now.
Right now,
it is a bust.
Yeah.
You gave up 3 first-round picks to get the quarterback number 3 overall.
He's going to play.
He's going to enter the 3rd year. He's going to enter his 3rd year in the league, Shasky, and we still don't know who he is.
In 45 months, he'll have started 7 games.
That's embarrassing. What?
I know.
And he's going to survive.
And not only that,
how many coaches survive?
And you got him. This is in part, not all the reasons, but in part you got him so that you could have a suppressed rookie quarterback contract, and you haven't taken advantage of it at all. At all. And that was the whole point, was to pay the rest of the roster so that you could have a cheap quarterback and try to do as much as you can while that quarterback's not making a lot of money, and it just feels like they've whiffed on all that. All of it.
So now, I mean, Drake Greenlaw did get an extension this morning, 2 years, $19 million.
Hufanga looks incredible, and that's like the last thing I'm thinking about.
Right. Greenlaw gets his extension. Wisnowski gets an extension.
You know, if you really wanted to come on here, I could just dissect all of the different. I'm going for it on 4th and 8. I'm not going for it on 4th and 1 from the 1. I'm going to kick a field goal here. I'm going to get a special teams block and breathe life into Seattle. There are so many elements of the actual game that leave a lot to be desired. And it's the one play that everyone's going to be thinking about, which is Trey Lance going down.
Yep.
And the air cast. I just can't stop thinking about him. He's fighting back tears, and he's on a cart getting carted out. And I'm thinking, my God, I saw this coming a mile away.
So, Spadoni, Grant Cohn asked Shanahan on running that quarterback draw on 2nd and 8. You got that up? Because I'm going to play this. Go ahead and play it, Spadoni. Here's Shanahan responding to that question.
Just because, I mean, you guys watch other teams in this league, and Buffalo does it all the time. Their quarterback's a pretty normal play, part of football, and it's unfortunate that he hurt his ankle on it, but it's a very normal ran play. You guys should watch some other people.
You guys should watch some other people. Shanahan, on the day Trey Lance broke his ankle, and the excitement of this fan base, seeing what Trey Lance could be. We thought it could be the quarterback for the next 10 years. Now I have my doubts. He's young. It's a broken ankle. Maybe he comes back. But you just said 7 starts in 45 months.
I mean, Dak Prescott, it took a full year.
Kyle, I like you as a play caller. But can we pump the brakes on the snarkiness? We don't need it. Trey Lance is in there with an air cast on his ankle. And you're telling people you need to go watch other teams. Go watch other teams.
Yeah, he should watch other quarterback head coach combinations and relationships, or maybe do a webinar on that. Maybe he should do that.
That's embarrassing.
I just wish there was, and I'm not expecting remorse.
Shasky, that's sad right there.
I felt bad for the kid. It felt very heartless.
Did you want to hear that from your head coach?
Well, especially when he's so married at the hip with the guy that he hand-selected. That, to me, felt like, is Trey even your guy? Like, that's what it felt like to me. I mean, I think it's fair to ask that. Is it him just standing at a podium after a game? I don't know. I don't know. It sounds worse. And it felt worse looking at it.
And then you got Mike McDaniel going out there beating Belichick and John Harbaugh in back-to-back weeks. Offense looks dynamic. George in the jungle. He's on the roast here on 95.7 The Game. What's up, George?
Yeah, gentlemen. It's like, I'm with you guys. I want whoever's the quarterback to do well.
Right.
I would like to.
Yeah, we're going to rally behind
the Super Bowl. Yeah, but the thing is, we knew who he was, and we had no questions. He was coming in with three games of college experience the prior year and a freshman year in college, and he's got no experience. And they drafted him 3rd. And I'm asking myself the question, have you ever seen James Wiseman and Trey Lance in the same room? It's the same guy. So much potential, but they're fragile. They're broken. Every time
James Wiseman's not broken.
Something snaps.
James Wiseman's not broken. Okay? He's not broken. George, come on. He's not broken. Wiseman's completely healthy. He had the one injury, the knee. He had some setbacks. Okay? It's all right.
Well, the whole, do you watch the rest of the league? And Josh Allen does this, and Josh Allen does that. And we're guilty at some level of, we want our own Josh Allen. Everyone wants their own Josh Allen. I'm a Buffalo fan. I've been following Josh Allen since college. B, have I not? I'm the biggest Josh Allen fan. The one area I don't want him doing is the quarterback runs. And every week I say this thing, they're flirting with fire. They're flirting with fire. Guys get hurt in the pocket all the time. Why would I want to get a guy blasted by a linebacker and a safety? And people could throw those out there and say, that's the way he runs. That's not what I want from my quarterback. You know what I want from my quarterback? A 25-year career like Tom Brady. That's what I want.
That's what you hope for.
Right?
It's unrealistic, but you hope for 10.
Bonte, why does Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and Stafford does this too, a lot of guys do this, when a play is dead, okay, and guys are busting three, why do they spike the ball down on the ground?
To not take a hit.
To not take an extra hit.
Yep.
Yet you're subjecting your guy to 5 hits in 12 plays, 20-plus hits the week before. He was on pace for 400 hits. 400 hits!
Your quarterback.
We talk about David Carr, Derek Carr, whatever the Carr, David Carr, I believe, getting crushed down in Houston.
Got sacked 62 times or 52 times his rookie year.
This kid was on pace to get tackled 400 times.
Well, you go look at Joe Burrow. He got sacked another 6 times yesterday. And everybody say, well, Cincinnati made the Super Bowl with bad offensive line. It's okay. It's okay. When we talk about the Cincinnati Bengals from last season, yeah, we'll talk about Jamar Chase and how good Joe Burrow is. But when we talk about those games, wild card game against the Raiders, we said the Raiders blew it.
Mm-hmm.
Semifinals divisional round against the Tennessee Titans, we said the Titans choke. We don't say the Bengals won, we said the Titans choke. Andy Reid, Mahomes, AFC Championship game, up 21-3 at halftime. We said the Chiefs choked. They blew it. And then the Rams won the Super Bowl. Because the Bengals are a flawed team. But they're going to get their quarterback hurt. He got sacked 19 times in the postseason, Joe Burrow. He's been hit multiple times this year. Think he's going to last?
What did we do when Burrow went down his rookie year? Oh, Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals. What are you doing? Didn't we all do that?
Mm-hmm.
Remove the names. Kyle Shanahan, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo. Remove all those names. Number 3 overall pick, who you moved 2 picks for. You started him, and in 4 games, you broke his ankle, and he got hit basically 20 times every single game. You were begging for this to happen.
Begging.
It was the most predictable thing in the world.
Let's go back out to the line, Chasky. Let's clear this board up. Then we'll get the new audience in here at 8 o'clock and reset the show. Trey Lance out for the year with a broken ankle. Niners beat the Hawks 27-7. They're 1-1. How are we feeling this morning? Are you feeling like it's a victory Monday? I don't feel like it. I didn't feel like it at the game either. It was an eerie vibe at Levi Stadium yesterday.
It was so weird.
Let's go to Carlos in the city. What's happening? He's listening via YouTube. He's watching this on YouTube. What's up, Carlos?
Hey, Bonte and Butcher. Well, first, before I talk about the Trey Lance injury and the medical practice from Kyle, I just want to congratulate you guys for being born and raised in the city. I'm born and raised in the city, so I want to give you guys some props.
Thank you.
Being natives, per se.
Thank you.
No problem. The Trey Lance injury. I have a huge, obviously everyone's having a huge issue of the play call from Kyle for running QB power and you mentioned the stat, Bonte, about he's rushed the ball at least 12 times every regular season game. He's played, 3 games?
He's played 4 games. In the 4 starts prior to yesterday, he had 44 carries.
Okay. I'm having an issue, even the local media defending Kyle for example, I saw a tweet you responded from, I don't know who the local media member was, but I'm just baffled in terms of how many, the media is defending Kyle as if it wasn't a big deal, the play call. I just want to get your guys, thoughts on, the media defending that.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't really care about what the other media members are doing. I care about what we're doing on the Morning Roast. And right now, business is booming on the Morning Roast. That's what I worry about. I'm not worried about who writes what article or what this person says. I'm not doing all that. I know what I care about, and I know what Shasky cares about. All right? And what we saw under Trey Lance, and it wasn't 4 starts, it was 3 starts, and he played the Seattle game when Jimmy got hurt against Seattle last year at Levi Stadium. What we saw was coaching malpractice. We literally just said this on Wednesday. Last Wednesday. Could you stop running this kid into the ground? He's going to get hurt. And he literally got hurt 4 days later. And he's out for the season. And now what does it mean? Like, there's so many questions I got here, Shasky. So many questions. Who is he? We never know who Trey Lance is. Are the Niners going to be in the quarterback market next year?
I don't know.
Jimmy's a free agent. We don't know when Trey's going to be able to get back on the field and throw a pass. Who is Trey? Do you need another quarterback? Is it going to be the same? Is he good?
Yeah, the ankle.
Can he throw? We don't know anything about Trey Lance.
I know.
After all this hype all offseason, knowing that, hey, it's Trey Lance's team. He's a starting quarterback in year number 2. He's going to be in year 3 of this rookie deal. And he's going to have a cap hit of $9.3 million and $10.8 million. What do you do about the 5th-year option? We don't know.
When you hear people say that injuries happen in football, what's your response to that?
Yeah, but you could prevent them. I agree that injuries do happen, but with the quarterback position, you could mitigate that chance. You could mitigate those chances of getting hurt. You could protect your quarterback. You could tell him, hey, man, look, we're going to run a play here, but I need you to get down ASAP. Trey's a young guy. He knows one style. But you got to help him from himself in those cases. And that's why you have to reduce trying to, call those plays. The other thing that I keep coming back to, he's a running quarterback. Watch the film. He's not a running quarterback.
He didn't run what they were running in these games, these RPOs. And these quarterback powers. I don't get it.
He's not Lamar Jackson.
No. That guy's a one-of-one.
And we said this last year, Shasky.
He's a one-of-one.
We said this last year. Trey kept walking off the field. Those shows we'd had. He's not a running quarterback. He wants to win from the pocket, and that's what we were excited about. Finally, a quarterback who has the ability to escape the pocket and make plays with his legs. But you have a quarterback who on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, could step up in the pocket and make that throw. He could take the top off the defense. Now, all of a sudden, the defense is not playing in the 15-yard box. They now have to respect the deep ball. Guess what? Seattle did in that second half. Yeah, the rain came down a little bit. They were like, oh, Jimmy's in the game. We're playing 8 in the box. We dare him to throw over the top. And it wasn't a pretty sight. At 3 started 5-5, it was not a pretty sight for Jimmy Garoppolo. That's something we'll get into tomorrow with Baldy.
Well, everyone's going to ask the question, is the team better now that Jimmy Garoppolo? And it's like, can we just digest what happened? Can we just for like a second, can I just digest it?
How do you even know that?
Well, they looked okay when Jimmy went in there. I thought
they got into the red zone twice with Trey Lance, right off the rip.
I know.
Right off the rip. Rob is San Bruno. What's happening? You're on the roast.
What's going on, fellas? Man, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. From that tweet you read where Ed Werder said what Cal said, I remember that tweet. And so you do the exact opposite. You knew what you were doing. They set this guy for failure. The fix was already in from the get-go. The reports just didn't come out all last week like that. They were put out by people in the organization, and you seen the arrogance Cal showed towards his account. He had no accountability. That was sabotage. I'm at the game. I'm sitting next to this guy, right? He said, "Watch when Jimmy get back and they're gonna start throwing the ball." All of a sudden, Jimmy throwing deep balls. That's Trey's best gift besides his quick feet to move outside the pocket and make throws. It's the deep ball. So you don't let him do that, but you let Jimmy Garoppolo, that's not his strong point, but you let him do that. Change the whole offense within a split second. And I feel like, I'm going to say it, these coaches play, when they got a black player with talent, they can just abuse him and do him any kind of way. I have never seen Cal do this to any one of his white quarterbacks, and it's not good. And to me, this is a fireable offense. I'm still a Niner fan, but I won't be attending no games this year. That was pathetic. You put your quarterback into the field. You knew better. The league knew better. We knew better, and you let that happen. I'm not attending no more games.
Rob, everyone saw it coming from a mile away, right?
That's the thing, and we don't get paid to do this. They get paid to do this. He's been in football for too long. His dad been in football for too long. I just feel like when they get these black athletes, they run them to the ground. He wouldn't have did that if Jimmy wasn't on the back end. In his mind, Jimmy runs his offense just the way he wants to run it. Only thing wrong with Jimmy is I think Cal don't like is he can't hit the deep ball, but everything else, Jimmy runs their offense just what Cal wants him to run it, and Cal's not willing to change his passing diversity to help, You know, he don't want nobody to shine but him.
Yep.
That's all. He's selfish.
Rob, good call. Again, the tweet he's referring to is
Miss you, Rob.
Ed Werder last year, September 26th of 2021. Despite injuries at running back, Kyle Shanahan doesn't view rookie quarterback Trey Lance as a solution to create rushing yards. Kyle Shanahan said he's not Lamar Jackson. Trey is a quarterback who has the ability to run. But to just line him up and run him, I mean, the game's too physical. That's what Shanahan said literally last year. Did you see a guy who thought he could just line him up and run him? It looked like Shanahan thought, hey, I could just line up and run Trey Lance. This tweet says the complete opposite of what Shanahan did. We didn't make it to the Arizona game, by the way. This was before the Arizona game last year, where Trey Lance ran it 16 times.
He's lucky he didn't tear his ACL in that game and get his shoulder separated. I mean, it was so obvious he was going to get hurt in this
Robert
game.
Sambrino thinks it's racial. I've never said that. I'm not going there. I don't think anything has to do with that. I'm not going there. But the coach contradicted himself. Last year he said he's not Lamar Jackson. He's a quarterback who has the ability to run, but to just line him up and run him, I mean, the game's too physical.
And if he's going to come back and the pivot's going to be, well, he's not developed enough as a passer, and this is the best strategy to win, and that's on you as a coach. That's why I'm paying you $15 million a year. That's why you have carte blanche on the whole organization, is to literally develop the kid. Yep. That is your number one goal. Job. That was your job. And so if he's not ready as a passer, then you have to own up to that a little.
Shasta, we're going to get to all these calls. Lines are packed right now. Text lines moving like a slot machine. We'll get to some comments on YouTube. But right now, we got to get to the injury report.
It's time for the injury report.
That really hurts.
Brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
All right, you know the deal. Trey Lance, broken ankle, out for the rest of the season. We'll not see him for the rest of 2022. What does it mean for his future? What does it mean for the 49ers long term? Are they going to be in a quarterback market next year? Trey Lance, with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in the first quarter, suffered a broken ankle. First quarter. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. First quarter. Broke his ankle on an RPO on the 2nd and 8. Tried to put weight on his ankle. Couldn't do it. The cart came. By the way, Shasky, it's the quickest I've ever seen a cart come out. Cart was out right away.
Once we heard murmurs, it's Lance. It's like...
Cart was out.
I couldn't believe it.
So he's out for the season. Set to undergo surgery today. Get well, Trey Lance. Get well. The injury report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. What's coming up on the game? Sponsored by Fremont Bank. Full-service banking, no compromises. Your phone calls, 888-957-9570. How you feeling about Kyle? What does it mean for Trey? Giant Niners now Super Bowl or bust again? So many questions we want to answer here on The Roast.
Cars for Kids, KARS, Cars for Kids, 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids, KARS, Cars for Kids, 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids, KARS, Cars for Kids, 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
Ever since I got the new Galaxy Z Flip 4, I've been learning all these new tricks with my dog Finn. Like how to take the best selfies at the park. I just set my phone down, put it in flex mode, and capture hands-free pics from multiple angles.
Aww.
Or how to capture our training sessions for his followers. I simply wave my hand to start recording video. Good boy! Plus, the Z Flip 4 is compact and fits perfectly in my pocket.
Wow. Visit Samsung.com today to get the new Galaxy Z Flip 4.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security. Together for just $69.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Or find out how to get up to a $650 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. New 50 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Requires enrollment in EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 1H 2022. Results may vary, not an endorsement.
Other banks go out of their way to make redeeming credit card rewards needlessly complicated. Like how they require minimums or force you to use your rewards before reaching some arbitrary expiration date. But Discover isn't like that. With Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. So you'll never have to jump through hoops. Unless you're like a trapezist, then by all means, go right ahead. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
Okay, everyone gather around. I have some exciting. Running her shoe factory, Kendra talks the talk and walks the walk. We're switching to green energy. She needs a biotech consultant to erase her carbon footprint. All operations will net zero emissions. Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky.
And well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take him out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
They're going to go with Trey Lance on this play as he kept it and absorbed quite the hit. Cody Barton and Brian Monet both teamed up to put it on Trey Lance. And Lance is down right now.
That was Adam Amin, the voice of the Chicago Bulls, courtesy of Fox Sports. On the call there, 2:20 left in the first quarter. In Trey Lance's season, his second in the NFL, his fourth career start. Season's over, folks. Broken ankle. Suffered a broken ankle. Niners were up 3-0. Look, they were going in to try to make it 10-0. Ended up kicking the field goal when Jimmy came in on third down. Broke his ankle. Out for the season. What does it mean for Trey Lance moving forward? Are the Niners going to be back in the quarterback market in 2023? This will be Shanahan's seventh year. Number 3 overall pick. Looked more like a fullback than a quarterback. It's great that the Niners beat the Seahawks. Snapped their 4-game losing streak to Seattle. They beat Pete Carroll. There's some F. Pete Carroll chants going on at Levi Stadium. Felt good to beat Seattle. Seattle's offense hasn't scored a point in 6 quarters. All right?
I mean, they look terrible.
They look terrible.
Hufanga looks great.
Hufanga looks great. Bosa. What, did he actually have 2? Bosa was coming. They weren't even blocking Bosa.
Yeah, well.
They weren't even blocking Bosa. Niners look great. They're 1-1.
Interception in the red zone was so bad to Tarvarius Ward.
So bad.
But the only thing I could think of, even during the game, it was just like a malaise that hits you when you're sitting there, and everybody was. It was so weird. Rain, sun. You know, some people excited that Jimmy's in the game. A lot of people just depressed that Trey went down the way he did.
So, how you feeling about Kyle this morning? And I know there's some people excited to have Jimmy back in the lineup. Because look, with Jimmy back in the lineup, we're now back to this team could be the best team in the NFC. We've seen Jimmy help them get there before. It's the truth, Shasky.
I haven't even had a second to process that.
I have. Now with Jimmy, I'm thinking, well, boy, you got a lot of big games, and you got a quarterback who's capable of helping you win those games. That is the truth. That is the truth. There's a lot of unknown with Trey Lance. I can admit that. I'm the biggest Trey Lance fan. There was a lot of unknown. There's a lot of question marks. But we're hoping to get the answers this season. And now, we don't know who the hell he's going to be. We don't have any answers. The only thing we know is that he's going to have 7 career starts in 45 months.
That's insane. And he hasn't been able to stay healthy for the 4 starts that he's had. I mean, he got hurt in the preseason. He got hurt in the Arizona game near the goal line on the Isaiah Simmons play, and then he got hurt again yesterday. And it was just the most predictable thing I've ever seen. Like, it was just so obvious he was going to get him killed. You just can't keep taking those kinds of hits. I don't care if you're a running back. I don't care if you're a tight end, a wide receiver. When you take point-blank shots from linebackers running downhill, you're going to get hurt.
Straight up.
I mean, there's a reason all these Lamar Jackson, this is the other thing, all these Lamar Jackson people, Lamar Jackson's awesome. There is a reason that he is the last of the guys to get paid out of that draft class. And I don't even agree with it. Like, I think Baltimore should pay him. But you know why they're worried and not paying him?
Because he runs a lot.
Because he runs a lot. And we all know.
And he's had injuries.
Saw this with Kaepernick. When you run and don't develop as a passer, you're limited, and it's going to reduce the amount of wins that you can have as you mature and age and as your physical traits start to diminish.
But also see Lamar Jackson throwing from the pocket and throwing down the field. They've helped him become a better pocket quarterback during his tenure as a quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens. And he's just a different dude. He's got more quickness than Trey Lance, more wiggle. Trey's more of a pocket quarterback who can get out and make plays with his legs and extend plays. But his base is being a pocket quarterback, not Lamar Jackson.
Well, Lamar's an outlier. He's a one of one. Like, Michael Vick is a one of one. These people that want to put people in and compare the outlier to that guy, like even Josh Allen, in terms of physical freaks, he's a one of one. Now, maybe your guy can develop into some version of a couple of different players, but to say that this guy's going to be that dude they're one of ones.
All right, the bat signal's out. We had a juice from, where was he from earlier? San Jose, San Carlos? This is Juice in Fremont. And it's been a while since we heard from Juice in Fremont. He basically anointed himself as the third host on the morning roast, so he shows up maybe 4 times a year. But Juice is here, and he's on the roast, listening courtesy of YouTube. Juice, what's happening?
My brothers. You know, I miss you too, like a fat kid missing chocolate cake. But you know what? Let me ask you guys something. You guys know what you get when you mix morning roast and juice. You're going to get a bitter taste this morning, man, because I'm really pissed off. I've been saying it the last 2 years. The guy that everybody says he's the offensive genius, right? He has like a lot of running back at his disposal. He could use Debo, but on 2nd and 8, he calls a quarterback power. I mean, this guy's supposed to have more offensive weapons and more combinations than in a bag of Skittles. And now we're at the fate of Jimmy freaking Garbo. I mean, when asked yesterday about the injury of this poor kid, I mean, he says, "Oh, well, Buffalo does it all the time." No, freaking Buffalo doesn't run power quarterback 10 times because they value their freaking quarterback, freaking Kyle. Why do you think Diggs has been having a career year in receiving? Oh, you know that story about King Biden? Everything that he touches turns into dust. Well, everything that Kyle turns, it turns into a bust. He's busted RG3's career, and now he's going to do the same to this poor kid. And you know what? This is the same guy that moved up to get better. This is the same guy that refused to trade Mullins to Denver. He can't develop a quarterback. He can't pick a quarterback. He's not a coach. He's not a great play caller. He's a freaking diva. Kyle Shanahan is the Jason Garrett of the NFC West. He's good enough just to get there, but not great to take you over the hump. Under Kyle's regime, mind you, these last few years, the Niners regime has been the most injury plagued team in the league. Does that fall on the players? No, that falls on the coach, Doug Peterson. He won a Super Bowl with freaking Philly, and they still let him go. Kyle can't even carry his jockstrap. What was the best thing that the Warriors did to elevate from a good team to a great team? They fired Mark Jackson. All I'm hearing about is, yay, Jimmy G. It is time to let go of Kyle and look where Steve Kerr. Anybody can be a coach, but not everybody is a leader. Other than that, peace.
It's Juice and Fremont. Now, I don't believe you should fire Shanahan. But boy, that leash is long. I'm skipping ahead past this season. We don't know how this season's going to end up. I think they have great football ahead of them. They haven't had George Kittle yet for 2 games, right? Debo's now getting back into shape. I feel really good about where this team is at, even with Trey Lance being hurt. This is a stacked roster. It's a stacked roster. They could do some special things this season. But we're going to get to the offseason. And we're going to ask the question again.
It's going to be the exact same question.
Who's going to play quarterback for the 49ers? Is Jimmy going to be back? And this is year 7 of Kyle Shanahan. And the most important position in all of American sport, the quarterback. We're going to enter the 7th year of Kyle Shanahan's tenure and not know what to think about the quarterback. Every year, the most important position on the football team, the quarterback. And we're going to have questions about it going into another offseason. That kept circulating in my head all night long. What does it mean for Trey? Who is Trey Lance? What does it mean for Jimmy? Well, boy, you know what Jimmy's going to do? Jimmy's going to play well this year. I truly believe that. And Jimmy's going to get paid this offseason. What's he going to do? Does he want to come back here?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do you do? Do you look for Bryce Young? Do you look for C.J. Stroud? I have no idea what the 49ers are going to do this offseason. That's where my mind floated to all last night.
At this point, if they want to go back into the draft and draft a quarterback, Kyle is the last guy that I'm going to have in this organization pick the dude. I mean, because he clearly can't get along with any of them, and he doesn't even know what he's looking for. If this is the guy that he wants to get him hit 20 times a game.
Here's a question. Can Shanahan develop a quarterback?
Well,
and do you trust Shanahan to develop a quarterback? Because here's the thing. Garoppolo regressed under Shanahan. C.J. Beathard regressed under Shanahan. Nick Mullins regressed under Kyle Shanahan. Do we trust Shanahan to pick a quarterback or make a decision on a quarterback?
Well, you just laid out this whole narrative about, now that the kid's hurt, they have all of these great players. Why weren't they utilizing those great players instead of just relying on the kid to do the bulk of the offense? Again, he led the team in rushing in the first week and again had a zillion design runs in this game and in 12 games. So or 12 plays, excuse me. He was getting used like a battering ram, and he was taking way too many hits, whether he got hit on a quarterback draw, whether he got hit on a power play, a triple option, in the pocket, he was going to get hurt. Yeah. I saw this coming a mile away.
We said it last Wednesday.
I saw this coming a mile away.
It was our flex moment of the week.
He's getting hit way too much.
It was our flex moment of the day.
And if you protect Jimmy Garoppolo, this is the other part. He ran Jimmy G late in that game.
I know.
He ran Jimmy G late in that game, and I said the exact same thing, whether it was Trey or Jimmy. Why are you running him? Why are you running him? Look, the quarterback sneak is one thing. I'm here for the quarterback sneak. It's a quick little boom, and I'm leaning forward. You could still get a concussion on that play, but in terms of risk mitigation or risk reward, makes sense. You ran a read option with Jimmy G late in that game? What are you doing?
By the way, my guy Craig Patrick.
Have you learned anything?
No, he hasn't. My guy Craig Patrick. This is for you, Patrick, my guy at Washington High School. His daughter's trying to get him to change the radio station this morning. I tried to tell her that I want to listen to my friend from high school. So can you just give a quick shout out to Charlotte and say don't change the dial? Hey, Charlotte, this is great radio. Don't change the dial. Pops wants to listen to sports. Happy dad, happy life, Charlotte. Let your dad listen to 95.7 The Game. And yes, you're right, Craig. This controversy is bananas. But you're spot on with everything you just said. Not to ignore and dismiss everything you said, Chesky. I'm with you. We literally said this last Wednesday. You continue with this game plan, he's going to get hurt.
It's a recipe
What did I say
for
after
disaster.
Chicago?
It's a
I
recipe.
was there in Chicago and in Novikov. My girlfriend, who wants to be my wife, and we talk about that. And we all know what happened last week. Literally in Chicago, she goes, "Damn, Trey's getting hit a lot." She don't know offense from defense. She thought the blocked field goal yesterday was the coolest thing she ever saw on the football field. She was like, "Man, Trey's getting hit a lot. Is a quarterback supposed to take that many hits?"
You ran down all the quarterbacks that they put on this roster. And then, I keep going back to the Tom Brady thing, which I'm like, I wanted him so bad. And this team assessed him and was like, nope, don't want him. I feel like this is where I lost Chip Kelly right off the rip. Someone asked him, "You don't employ the fullback." And he's like, "Nope, not in my system." And they said, "Well, what if I give you Mike Allstott in his prime? You couldn't find a way to scheme it up?" And he's like, "Nope, we don't use the fullback." I feel like I'm getting to the point where if I said to Kyle Shanahan, I don't even know if I'm here yet, but I feel like it, "Hey, I'm going to give you Patrick Mahomes or Joe Montana." And he'd be like, "You know what? Don't want him."
Right.
Don't want him. I he wouldn't even use him the way these other guys are using him.
Right.
That's what it feels like.
And the other thing, another thing, maybe Trey wasn't ready. Maybe he was too raw.
But you had your pick of the litter of who you wanted to get. You had your pick of the litter,
and you had all season. You had 2 training camps. You had 2 mini camps. You had all summer. Why is he not ready?
You had 7 years.
Why is he not ready?
You could have traded for Stafford. You could have acquired, Kirk Cousins. You could have acquired Tom Brady.
You could have drafted Mahomes or Watson.
At some point, one of these beds is going to have to fit you, buddy. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. I'm down on Shanahan this morning. I'm not down on the football team. They got a big win, and I think they could go to Denver next week and kick their ass. I really do. I really think the Niners could get this thing humming.
It does feel like if they don't protect Jimmy Garoppolo, he's going down too, though.
Well,
and seeing Mike McGlinchey look like a straight turnstile yesterday is a joke.
Let's go to Steve in Fairfield. Steve, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Hey, I just wanted to comment on the whole thing. First and foremost, 49er fan all the way. But with the whole Trey Lance situation, I'm all into the development moving forward, but we got to win football games at the same time. And him, a pocket passer, he's 50% completion at best. He's got to run the ball. We got to win games at the same time, and it's.
But how? But wait. Would you agree with me? I'm going to give you a second here. Okay. Then where are the easy dialed-up throws from the quarterback guru genius play caller? Where's the smokescreen that he threw immediately to Deebo Samuel when Jimmy Garoppolo came in? Where are those easy plays? They threw the simple stick route, and that's all they threw. They were running the ball down their throat with running backs. If you're such a great play caller, you can't scheme up 6 or 7 underneath throws for the kid to hit?
Back to it, in Kyle's defense, I think that it's just bad luck. And we all knew going into the season that he was going to be running the ball. We're looking for definitely 50, 60 yards a game. That is his game.
13 runs a game would have broken the 49er individual record for rushes in a Niner during the Shanahan era.
Let Steve finish. Steve, go ahead, finish.
No, that's it. I mean, I think it's bad luck, and Kyle, I think, is going to take a lot on this one.
He should.
He should. Steve, and thanks for the call. I wholeheartedly disagree with you, Steve. First of all, Trey Lance completed 58% of his passes last season. 58%.
In a couple games.
Josh Allen completed 53% of his passes his rookie season. All right? So Trey was training up. Five touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. But hey, you got to run with Trey Lance. No, you don't. Kyle Shanahan's a great run coordinator, right? Mike and Kyle, how many 1,000-yard rushers have they churned out? Over and over. Oh, they got a bunch of backs. They know how to find running backs.
Here, they only have one.
But they know how to find running backs, right?
They do. They
know
but
how
here
to
they only have one.
Yeah, because everybody gets hurt.
Everybody
gets hurt.
That's my point.
I mean, Mostert tore his ACL third play of the game last year.
They've had a different leading rusher essentially every year. Hyde, Breida, Coleman and Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., Elijah.
So, but you're a great run game coordinator. But these run plays for Trey Lance, go back to the Arizona game, go back to the Texans game. Because like in the second half of the Texans game, for example, it felt like Kyle Shanahan treated Trey Lance like a quarterback.
Yeah.
You got to throw the ball around. Yeah. In the first half, what were we saying? What the hell is Shanahan doing? Why is he running off there? What is he doing?
We saw the deep boots and the rollouts and things like that. That's how you use the mobility behind the line to move the pocket and use someone's arm and legs, not running them on quarterback draws. Like, again, he had 12 snaps, Bonte.
He got hit 5 times.
3 quarterback design runs.
Yeah, I know.
Like 12 plays.
On the first drive, they ran a quarterback delay on 3rd and 6. The fullback led or halfback, I forget who it was, and he runs up the middle for a first down. Takes a hit. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, that's cool. They got a first down. But I thought you drafted a guy because he could make that throw on 3rd and 7. Like you look at all the great quarterbacks in the playoffs, and you look at all the great quarterbacks on 3rd down. The coaches are asking them, hey, drop back and stick me a throw on the money down.
That's
what it's about.
Yeah,
that's how you win football
down
games.
Is throwing the ball. Agreed.
But he ran the ball on 3rd and 6. I'm like, does he not trust him to throw the football? And if you don't trust him to throw the football, well, you know what? Trey doesn't have a shot to finish the season. That's what went through my head right away.
What about him, easing his way into those throws? Like, to me, that was a game that they were going to control the whole way through the running game. So I don't know why you needed to force the issue with Trey running when the other two running. But TDP finally looked good early on.
Good. And Jeff Wilson Jr. had juice.
He finally looked good, and they were breaking things off. And he did hit Ayuk earlier, and he had the one throw, and then he hit the little Texas route.
But you know what it was? Ayuk in the flat, sat down, 5-yard boom, right simple. On the numbers, and let him do his thing after the catch.
Are you having any revisionist history on who picked who when it comes to Mack and Trey and Fields and all this?
We'll never know the truth. We'll never know the truth.
That's kind of sad. It feels like
because Lynch.
I don't even know if this guy. I don't know what the hell this guy.
John Lynch sometimes
I don't even know.
Shows his hand a little too much. Where he said, I was at Mahomes' pro day and I was telling Kyle, hey, we may need to rewrite our whiteboard and we may need to reevaluate who we're going to draft. I remember what I said. I said, Lynch, you probably should have kept that to yourself.
Yes, you did.
Vontae Hill did not need to know that. Wait, you were at Mahomes' pro day?
Yeah.
And you thought maybe and you took Solomon Thomas? I still haven't gotten over that.
I know.
You told me to shut up about it. Vontae can't do nothing. I still haven't gotten over that. 2 generational quarterbacks sitting there at the top of the draft, and you end up taking C.J. Beathard to the 3rd round. So now I don't trust you to even evaluate my quarterbacks.
Well, I just
or develop them.
And like moving forward, like everybody's like, hey, look, the team might be better today. And I understand that point of view. I'm not even going to argue it today. I don't even have the emotional strength to argue that point of view. But by God, you better keep Jimmy Garoppolo upright. Because if we get a Brock Purdy start this year, I'm going to be so gutted.
Let's go to George in Little Rock, Arkansas. George, what's happening? He's watching via YouTube. He's on YouTube right now. What's up, George? You're on the roast.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good.
I want to comment. I got a couple of comments, and I want you guys to chime in on. I kind of get upset a little bit when people say that, Jimmy can't get over the hump or this and that, and he taking as far as he could take us. When in actuality, if you think about it, Steve Young played in 6 NFC championship games, won 1, lost the first 2 to Dallas before he won the championship.
But he was the reigning MVP when he lost that first one. He's a multiple MVP winner. Multiple. And I'm not trying to compare and contrast Steve Young to Jimmy Garoppolo, but can we agree that the talent level, there was a Grand Canyon gap?
And he lost 3 NFC championship games.
Yes.
Not 6.
Yes.
Or 5.
And lost,
he lost 3.
And lost when they had a bye in the first round of the Packers.
Divisional round.
Yeah. So, I mean, look.
Go ahead, George. Finish your call.
Continue.
And then, the quarterback for New England, John Elway.
Yeah.
He lost 3 Super Bowls before he finally won a Super Bowl. But what I'm trying to say is this, guys. Sometimes, how do you think those organizations would have felt if they pulled the plug on Steve Young or pulled the plug on John Elway because they, didn't get over the hump? I mean, you got to, in order to be able to hit the game-winning shot, you got to be in the game.
But we just saw the Rams do that with Jared Goff. They moved off him and won a Super Bowl with Stafford.
Well, George, they tried to pull the plug on Jimmy Garoppolo. They didn't want Jimmy Garoppolo back here. They tried to pull the plug on Jimmy G, George.
Well, I understand that part. Yeah, you're right. They did.
So, they get no credit for that. The 49ers get no... Sorry, George.
Did you get the feeling from some of the players that they were happy to have Jimmy out there?
Some of the fan base, some of the players.
I got that sense right away. And I didn't know exactly who I'm looking at when I say that.
We'll get to that on the other side. Plus, we'll finish these calls. George, Dave, P, Ryan, we'll get to everybody here on the roast. They looked into Jimmy Garoppolo. The 49ers get no credit for bringing Jimmy Garoppolo back. They tried to trade him. They sat there on the podium at the beginning of training camp and said, yeah, we're looking for a trade. They told you that. They don't get no credit for having Jimmy back. They botched every situation when it comes to the quarterback spot. It's actually laughable. And they're still winning. And they still win. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. More of your phone calls coming up here on the roast. Brought to you by BMW Fairfield, now open in the Fairfield Auto Mall. They provide a luxurious, all-encompassing experience to address all of your BMW needs. Visit BMWFairfield.com today. Book your visit. That's BMWFairfield.com.
Traveling, volunteering, spending time with family. What's your retirement look like? With income planning from Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Visit fidelity.com/income planning. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services member NYSE SIPC.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Odyssey knows that football fans can't get enough football. That's why we've got nonstop football coverage on the free Odyssey app. Podcasts and live shows dedicated to every pro team. NFL play-by-play and enough game talk for the most diehard fans. Local radio stations talking football, interviews with star players and coaches, and football fans being fans.
What kind of play calling was that?
Listen to everything you love about football, live and on demand with the free Odyssey app. Get in the game and download today.
This is your time to cash in at Cash Creek Casino Resort. To rock and to roll. Over the hills and bluffs. Go all out or go all in. With 4 stars and rising stars. Now we do more than ever, so you can do as much or as little as you want. It's your time to cash in at Cash Creek Casino Resort.
Pink Floyd's Roger Waters. This is not a drill.
We're doing a show in the round. It's something new. I'll look forward to the challenge.
Featuring his songs from the golden era of Pink Floyd. Friday and Saturday, September 23rd and 24th, Chase Center in San Francisco. Tickets on sale now at RogerWaters.com.
This is not a drill.
Produced by AEG Presents.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
Come into Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill September 23rd through September 25th for their fall clearance sale event. Take advantage of factory direct prices, one-of-a-kind opportunities, special pricing on floor models, and convenient financing. And save on new appliances from trusted brands like Miele, Bosch, Electrolux, LG, and Maytag. Visit Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill for their fall clearance sale event, September 23rd through September 25th, for the best time to save on new appliances for your home.
That's the sound of a crack in the ceiling found at a home inspection. But with a Realtor by your side, a newfound leak might only cause minor worries. With their expertise, a Realtor can suggest a credit at closing and even connect you to a contractor to help you shore up that leak and alleviate your worries. When it comes to cracks in your plans, the expertise of a Realtor can make all the difference. The difference between an agent and a Realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Wendy's new French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me, did you just say Wendy's new French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Hurry into the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool energy-efficient appliances. You can also use less water with WaterSense bathroom faucets, starting at just $19.98. Plus, find other great energy-saving items throughout the store and check your eligibility for rebates in your area to save even more. Don't miss the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Selection varies by location. Exclusions apply. Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9/28.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
In San Francisco, showers today, highs around 70.
Brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Your neighborhood Ashley store has all the styles, selection, and value you'll need to invite fall in this season. Find furniture you'll love by shopping locally or visit Ashley.com today.
Score big with Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with the game-changing speed of supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers the field and then some. And blocks billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you protected at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Shasky, I wish we were able to go to noon today. I've got another 3 hours and 30 minutes in me.
The thing that I can't get out of my head, the thing that I just cannot get out of my head is how often everyone keeps pointing to a couple people. Cam Newton, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. These guys run the ball, and they're super effective at it. That's what we thought this kid was. And the irony is no, I never thought that he was going to be Lamar Jackson. I wanted him to throw. I thought mobility was going to be behind the line of scrimmage, boot action. When I think of Shanahan, when I think of Kubiak, when I think of their system, it's the deep stretch boot stuff where I get... Boom, the defense going one way. I roll out. I reset my feet. I'm on the move as I'm running toward the sidelines. Not quarterback draws. Who leads the NFL in terms of rush attempts from a quarterback in one season? All time.
If I had to guess, it'd be between 3 guys.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham.
It's Lamar Jackson, 176. 176 attempts. He ran for 1,200 yards that year, almost 7 yards a gash, okay? This kid was on pace for 230. 230. Again, running backs in the Shanahan system. High, 2017, 240. Breida, 153. These are your leaders each year. In 2019, Coleman and Mostert had 137. Mm-hmm. All these guys got hurt, by the way. 2020, Jeff Wilson Jr., 126. Elijah Mitchell, 207. Trey Lance was on pace for 230. Again, Lamar and Cam Newton account for like 9 of the top 12 amount of carries by a quarterback all time in a season. Those are outlier players. Outlier players. All right? To think that this kid was going to stay upright, and I would argue Cam Newton's career, He's younger than Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
He's out of the league.
Out of the league. Shoulder is shot.
Why is Baltimore not giving a $200 million deal
about the wear
right
and
now?
tear.
Because there's like trepidation on whether this guy can stay healthy.
And he wasn't healthy last year. We forget about that. Was Lamar Jackson healthy last year?
No, and it sabotaged their season.
Yep.
When you run the quarterback designed that many times and you're subjecting him behind a porous offense, you are flirting with disaster. Yep. And so to me, to think that the best way for them to win was to run him into the ground, I would say, no, that is the fastest way to get the kid hurt.
So I'm seeing stuff all over the place. Somebody said, did you watch Kyler Murray yesterday? Come back against the Raiders, scrambling and stuff like that. They're taking over the league. You still need to win from the pocket. Matthew Stafford last year in the Super Bowl, they won from the pocket, right? Making throws. Jimmy couldn't win from the pocket last year in the NFC Championship game, right? Burrow was winning from the pocket, all right? Mahomes failed in the pocket last year in the NFC Championship game. You got to make throws from the pocket. So to sting that Trey, did you watch Kyler Murray? They're two completely different players. Kyler Murray's running a 4.3, 4.4 40.
And,
all right.
Well, and the other part of this is Bonte's like, well, you can't get the most out of Debo unless you're running an RPO. Really? Did they run RPOs with Jimmy Garoppolo last year?
Not much.
I thought, Debo had a pretty damn good year.
Had a pretty damn good year.
And then Trey's not developed enough as a passer. That is the job requirement of both Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan.
Right. That's what you brought Brian Creasy for, right? To help him in the pocket.
Yes.
Your quarterback coach. And I think with Kyler, if you look at most of his runs, he's getting outside the numbers.
Yeah, I don't
he's
think
getting to the sideline.
And they're not designed up the middle in between the tackles where two linebackers can take your head off.
They're designing quarterback powers for Trey Lance. And now Jimmy's back. And you know what? I know you're not there yet, but I am. It's on now.
Yeah,
I got a veteran. You got a veteran quarterback starting now for the Niners who's been in 2 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl. Well, guess what? Now that Jimmy's playing, because a lot of people last week were saying Trey's not ready, he's raw. You got the better quarterback on the sideline. Well, the better quarterback in a lot of people's minds is now on the field. So where are we at for expectations? Where are we at now?
I don't know.
NFC Championship or bust? Super Bowl or bust?
Just make the playoffs because everyone wants to obsess about winning now and Super Bowl. And just get to the playoffs. I can't even assess all that. Bonte, I can't even assess that. Your number 3 overall pick, you move 3 picks to go up and get the most capital in the history of the organization. And you ran them into a wall for weeks on end, 4 weeks on end, and we saw the writing on the wall. Everyone saw that this was going to happen. And you told me that they need the least out of this kid. It went from a week ago, well, he's got all these playmakers, and all he has to do is just not make mistakes, to the only way he was going to succeed was for him to have running be the primary focus of his career.
Right.
And it's wait a minute.
So all these questions.
Isn't there like some nuance in between the two of them?
I saw somebody on the text line, Bonte, do the math. He's only been in Niners for 2 years. I'm looking back at North Dakota State.
From 2019 until whenever he plays his next step, it'll be about 45 months. He will have 7 starts essentially.
In 45 months.
That's not good.
So all the questions we have, was it fair or unfair? Did Shanahan misuse Trey? I believe so. Do we know who he is as a quarterback? We don't. Do you draft the quarterback in the future?
Did Shanahan even handpick him?
Right. Did Shanahan want him?
I don't even know.
Do you draft the quarterback next year? What's the future look like for Trey Lance?
What does this mean for Jimmy?
A finger, knee, and now an ankle injury.
I know, in 4 games.
What does it mean for Jimmy? You may have to bring Jimmy back.
I don't even know. I don't even know. You got to let this year play out, I guess.
Like, what do you do next year? It's going to be year 7 of Shanahan, and we're going to have the same quarterback questions. And it's going to be year 7 of the Shanahan era. And the same quarterback questions. That is mind-boggling to me. And it's just, who survives? Who survives that? Shanahan does, because he's not going anywhere.
How many coaches wouldn't get scrutinized this morning in the NFL for running their quarterback like that? I'm asking you sincerely.
A lot of them.
No, I'm saying how many wouldn't get scrutinized?
I I think everybody would get scrutinized.
Like, let's just say, hypothetically, if Josh Allen goes down next week, the week after.
McDermott, they're roasting him.
Oh, my God.
They're killing him.
Ken Dorsey, right? Whoever the offensive coordinator is currently, they're going to destroy him. Sean Payton, I think, because of what he did with Teddy Bridgewater as the backup, I feel like he had, even though he's not employed right now.
Taysom Hill, he got a lot of heat.
Well, it's funny to me that Taysom Hill, a fifth-round pick, was literally being utilized the same way Trey Lance was being utilized.
Same
you
way.
You treated Trey Lance the same way as Taysom Hill.
Same way.
So, like, how many coaches in the NFL could survive criticism from what Shanahan... And he deserves some criticism today. I believe that. And if you don't, well, I would love to know why he doesn't deserve criticism.
Let's go to the lines. Lines jam-packed. Let's get everybody in here. We appreciate everybody listening on YouTube, Twitch, the Odyssey app.
I want to come in here and talk about Hufanga. I want to come in here and talk about Ross Dwelly having a wide open, schemed open touchdown. Listen, I want to talk about Nick Bosa's 2 sacks. I can't. All I have is a vision of the prized possession franchise quarterback with an air cast fighting off tears as he's being carted off the field.
So not only that, but my entire section was like,
damn, gut punch.
No, everybody from Diego to Zuri in section 227 to Anna. Anna was like, your vibe is all off, babe. I couldn't even focus on the game. All these questions in your head.
I did the same thing when Alex Smith got knocked out of the Rams game and they ended up tying the Rams years ago because I was at that game. I remember feeling the exact same way, like, oh my God. Alex was the quarterback, and I wasn't even a huge Alex Smith fan.
He was playing well, though.
He was playing great, and I was just in a malaise. When your starting quarterback goes down and you see him get carted off, like, you're in a malaise as a fan in the stadium.
Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt week 3 in Kansas City in 2018. God. We did a Periscope Live in the back room. Shasky, you had a tear coming down your eye.
I know.
Because you knew the season was over.
I did.
Now, thankfully,
yes,
Jimmy's back.
Agreed.
But the Niners don't get credit for bringing Jimmy back.
Well,
they tried to move off this guy.
On some level, I guess you got to give him a little credit for working it out. And and you got to give Jimmy credit for not wanting to leave. On some level, you absolutely can give them some
I'm not
credit.
calling him a genius for that. When they tried to move off the guy multiple
years. Well, no, you're not a genius. I mean, traded. If you were a genius, you might have, and you liked Jimmy that much, you might have just stayed with Jimmy and kept all your picks if you didn't like Trav.
Right. But they literally tried to move off of Jimmy for 3 years. Starting after Super Bowl 54, when the head coach, during the week of Super Bowl 54, was talking about his love affair for Kirk Cousins. Yeah, we really like Kirk. Oh, yeah, we're waiting on Kirk. You're waiting on Kirk Cousins. Think about that. Waiting on Kirk Cousins.
I thought we were going to see some bootlegs and, some misdirection plays to move the pocket around. And we got quarterback powers. Just like until we were blue in the face.
Let's go to George in Salt Lake City. George, what's happening? He's listening via YouTube. What's up, George?
Fontaine Hill, how you guys doing?
We're good. What's up, George?
Hey, first-time caller, and I really, really love you guys' takes on the game yesterday. Hey, I grew up in the 80s, loving Montana, seeing a little bit of Young. I'm more of a Montana guy. And the reason why I root for Montana is because he won Super Bowls. I don't get the love affair with Jimmy G. I'm a Trey Lance guy. I was willing to give Trey Lance a chance because Jimmy G went to the Super Bowl and didn't do it for us. What is the fan base's love affair with Jimmy G? And I'll just get off the call.
Well, Jimmy wins games, and people like
you know what?
Are they accustomed to it?
Sorry to cut you off, Shasky.
Yeah.
We take a lot of calls.
Yeah.
We interact with a lot of 49er fans. By the end of the NFC Championship at SoFi Stadium in early February, how would you say most of the fan base perceived Jimmy Garoppolo? As a guy who came up short, and it's time to move off of him.
Yeah, well, and also you had to remember that they did draft Trey Lance, and they had made that bold move, so that was the backdrop. I think a lot of people were ready to turn the page. But they were still skeptical. That's one thing that I've noticed, just in general with 49er fans, and I think a lot of NFL fans. They like what they've seen before, and they're very skeptical of something they haven't seen. Very skeptical of something they haven't seen before.
There's a lot of people.
I don't care what player it is.
But there was a lot of people who are ready to move off of Jimmy.
No, I agree.
A lot.
I agree with that.
And we had already moved on in our minds that it was Trey Lance's team. And everybody thought it was bizarre that Jimmy Garoppolo's on the side field throwing by himself and running sprints by himself. Not having a playbook, which I thought was overrated. Baldy said that too. The guy knows the playbook. Guy's been in the system since 2017. He knows what time it is under the Shanahan offense. Same offense. He doesn't need much time to catch up when it comes to the playbook. But a lot of people are just like, you know what? What's going on here? Are we moving off to Jimmy or what? Are we? Well, Jimmy's back. Jimmy's back. And it's his team again.
Well, and I think this is something that I can't get out of my head either. Seeing a lot of the teammates rally behind Jimmy Garoppolo, it felt like to me, and they could say they were unified. It felt like to me they weren't unified. It felt like a lot of guys were really pulling. Now, again, I'm going off of picking a guy up, high-fiving, clapping. Maybe they're just happy they scored a touchdown. It really felt like there was a segment of the 49ers that were happy that Jimmy was back in there.
Not only that, but I heard Juszczyk say it felt like Niner football. Did it not feel like that with Trey Lance?
Well,
what do you mean by that?
He's out there more when Jimmy's out there because they're not in those RPO. Again, they're not in pistol and they're not in shotgun.
It felt like Niner football again? What is that?
I think you can identify him as someone who was a Jimmy G guy. I think it's fair to say that. I would put McGlinchey in that category too. And I would tell McGlinchey, dog, you need to play better. You stink.
Dave in Fresno, listening via the Odyssey app. Out in Fresno on the Odyssey app. What's up, Dave? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys. Never felt so bad about a blowout win against Seattle in my life.
Seriously.
So. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I might be the only one, but I'm getting Washington at the time Redskin vibes when, Kyle Shanahan was the coordinator and they had RG3 and they drafted Kirk Cousins. I know RG3 got hurt differently than how Trey got hurt, but it seemed like when Kirk Cousins came in, that was more Shanahan's cup of tea. And I wonder if yesterday, say it would have been Trey Lance and Purdy as the backup, would he have been calling the game so reckless?
It's a question I don't have an answer to.
It's a great question, though.
I think it's a relevant and fair question.
Yep.
And as all the things, I always have an opinion. I don't have an answer for that.
It's a great question. Let's go to Mo Money in Oklahoma City, listening via the Odyssey
app.
Mo Money? Mo Money, what's happening?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. You got your Mo Money.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Now, I just wanted to say, I understand injuries are part of the game, yes. But those chances go up when you run your quarterback the way that Kyle Punk Shanahan, who's hanging off his daddy's coattails. I don't know who ordained this guy as a genius at getting his players hurt. But, yeah, they need to strip that man of the power that they give. He gets in his own way, whether it be on the field, whether it be making decisions on his players. That man they need to do something about that, but yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
It's sad. Thanks for the call, Mo Money. Thanks for the cash.
Risk mitigation is real. And we have this in every sport. Load management, pitching counts. In football, you do take out certain players when the game is in hand. When you're rolling out and you're a quarterback, yes, you don't want to lose yardage, but also you throw the ball away to avoid hits. You know what I mean? How many times do you see a quarterback do that? How many times in a broken play where they're whistling it dead and linemen are coming flying at Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, they spike the ball. So they can avoid taking hits. You're going to get hit, and yes, you can subject yourself to getting hurt on any play. But there's risk mitigation.
I know we're emotional today, Shasky. We've been a little loud.
Well, you should be.
A little angry. It's just, when Juszczyk says that's 49er football, well, how come Trey Lance wasn't, quote-unquote, playing 49er football? How come he didn't get that playbook?
That's a great question.
How come you draft this guy number 3 overall because he has a strong arm and he can make all the throws on the football field? Okay, his delivery may be a bit slow. It may be a bit slow right now. A little robotic. He's got to work on that. He is raw. But you drafted him because you thought he was an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. And you thought, man, if he does get in trouble in the pocket, he could escape and he could move around and he could make things happen. He could extend plays. But the quarterback powers. He ran it 16 times in Arizona last year. He ran it 13 times last week in Chicago. He ran it 8 times against the Texans. But when you let him throw the football, boy, that throw to Ray McCloud looked really good, didn't it? No, that throw to Jawan Jennings looked really good.
But
both he hits Ayuk
I don't even have enough of the evidence to be able to make a proper assessment.
I don't even know who he is yet. I don't even know who. I think Trey Lance could be really good. But you know what? The list that I have up here, cue cards, might as well rip those up. Might as well rip them up because Trey may never be ready now. He may never be ready now. He's going to enter his 3rd year in the league. and Debo and Kittle and Trent, they're all getting older. And we don't even know who the number 3 overall pick is. With James Wiseman, I think I know a little bit. Okay, this guy can rim run. He can set screens. He's big. He's working on his rebounding. He's going to play a role with the Warriors. I at least know a little bit about James Wiseman. I know a little bit about Joey Bart. I know nothing about Trey Lance. Absolutely nothing. I think I know, but we got a small sample size. And now we have to wait another year. And now we got another year of quarterback questions in San Francisco. So maybe we owe Craig Carton an apology. Maybe this franchise, when it comes to the quarterback position, is the most dysfunctional in the
I told
NFL.
you I could write a book on how not to put a quarterback in position to succeed based off what they've done. And it feels like they had certain infrastructure in place for this guy where I thought it would be different this time. I did. I'm like, they're going to have a much better defense. They're going to have playmakers. He's just going to be asked to throw the ball a couple of times a game. Maybe on a certain goal line situations, you do the naked boot and he's running to the pylon, even though he got whacked on that play last year. Nope.
Nothing.
Snapped ankle, season over, got to wait a whole nother year. And even then, I don't even know who he's going to be. Is he going to have the same kind of spirit within him? Yeah. Is he going to be shell-shocked? I mean, I have a zillion questions on that.
He's going to see ghost in the pocket? What's going to happen here?
It took Carr years to be able to shake off the broken leg.
Darnold still hasn't recovered. Sam Darnold, he's backing up Baker Mayfield for crying out loud. Let's go to P in Sacramento. Then we'll get to Ryan, Dre, Marco, and Rick that finish the show. P in Sacktown, what's happening? He's watching via YouTube. What's up, P?
Yes, so good morning, man. What's up with my two bros this morning?
Oh, man. Niners got to win. Certainly doesn't feel like it, though.
Man, I know, and I hate it, man. And I'm a diehard Niners fan, but it's sad to say I really don't even care about that win, and it's a win against the Seahawks. And it's just, it hurts me because Shanahan is not a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator at best. He's a guy that needs to answer to another guy above him to get his job done. And he's not a quarterback guru. And it was sad that Lance got drafted to us because that dude doesn't know how to develop quarterbacks. And I don't know, man. And to pick another quarterback and have him pick it like you guys were talking about earlier. No, that's not, no. Shanahan should not be the head that's picking a quarterback, bro. He got Trey Lance hurt. No matter if you want to look at it like it's not split into like.
So it's not just that play.
It's indefensible.
To me, it's
P,
not.
good call,
but this
P.
is the key to.
Call back, P. Good call.
It's not just that play. It's the totality of how he was being utilized that it was unsustainable.
Right.
Like that's the big takeaway. Anyone? Well, Debo ran for 51. Yeah, on a play he got stopped in the backfield and shook two dudes.
That was all Debo.
Okay,
that had nothing to do with blocking. That was all Debo. Literally. I got to make a play for this team. I'm stuffed. Let me.
It's not about a singular play. It's about the totality of usage.
Yeah.
And if you say to me, Joe, well, the totality of the usage is an indication that Kyle Shanahan didn't think he was prepared to throw the ball. Well, then that's on them. Either they picked the wrong guy, they didn't do the proper development. Like, there's a variety of things. Call more unique design plays to make it easier for him.
I mean,
so, like, you can't have it all your way if you're a Shanahan lover.
It's unbelievable.
And I'm the biggest Shanahan fan, and it hurts my soul to say it.
Yes.
B, have I defended him every step of the way?
Every step. We've gone back and
forth. I can't defend him this morning.
What I saw was coaching malpractice. It was coaching malpractice. That's what you drafted him number 3 overall for? To run quarterback powers over and over and over again? That's why? I thought you drafted him to be a pocket quarterback.
And as the news is breaking that Trey Lance has a broken leg or broken ankle, you're running back-to-back run plays with Jimmy G in the final minutes of a game in hand?
Unreal.
I couldn't believe he was doing that at the end.
Ryan in Phoenix, what's happening? He's listening and watching via YouTube as well. YouTube getting a lot of hits today. Over 800 people watching at the moment on YouTube. Thanks, everybody, tuning in. Ryan, what's happening?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
I've had better days.
Good. Long-time listener. Man, I feel real bad for Trey Lance after yesterday. I feel like he was set up for failure from day one. It's quite obvious. I mean, we're using him like Taysom Hill out there that Kyle Shanahan did not want him in that draft. I think we dropped the ball there. He either wanted Mac Jones, maybe even Fields, or even a stretch. Aaron Rodgers told Trey Wingo the day before the draft that he thought he was going to be a Niner.
Mm-hmm.
We were trading all those picks. using that third pick.
I believe that now more than ever.
Yep.
As you're saying there, the Aaron Rodgers trade thing, I now believe that more than ever.
And I would have done it.
Well,
here's a
right.
cold part, Ryan. I would have done it. I said it at the time. Oh, Aaron Rodgers available? Give me Aaron Rodgers right now. Because at the time, I didn't trust Kyle Shanahan to develop a quarterback. I said it then, and I'm saying it now. I don't know about Kyle. And a lot of people think I hate Shasky. How many people come up to you, but why does Bonte hate Kyle Shanahan?
They ask me that all the time. Why you got to defend him in front of B, bro?
I don't hate Kyle Shanahan. But a lot of people crown this guy. And I'm looking down in L.A. looking at Sean McVay saying Sean McVay's a better coach.
And he's won in a variety of ways.
And he's got a Super Bowl now.
Yeah, he does.
All right? He's a better coach right now. I'm not willing to call Kyle great.
I know.
And now I see Mike McDaniels, and Baldy told us a month ago, Mike McDaniels is going to be something in Miami. Look at the formations he creates. And they're having fun in South Beach, Miami.
Well, the thing that I keep going back to, the personnel decisions are eventually what's going to do in anyone, obviously, in underperforming. They've got a wide receiver who's really a running back that they paid $25 million. They had a quarterback who they played like a fullback.
And you got a tight end
who plays right tackle.
You got to keep him in the block.
And who plays right tackle. And then you got a right tackle in Mike McGlinchey who's a dumpster. So it's just this whole team has got a bunch of guys that are playing in the wrong position because the head coach is telling me he's the smartest dude in the league.
And doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. That's why I've been critical of Shanahan. Everybody, and that's why, you know what, from here on out, I notice a lot of fans now are looking at Kyle Shanahan, and they are holding him accountable for the first time ever. I look at Super Bowl 54. You want to talk about coaching malpractice? You told me in Super Bowl 54, Kyle Shanahan, that you basically didn't trust Jimmy Garoppolo. You didn't. So you should have moved off of him. And yet you kept him around again. And you kept him around again. And now he's back again. So which one is it, Kyle? Who do you really want at quarterback?
I don't know.
Well, he doesn't want Trey. Who does he want? He's the CEO of the franchise, for crying out loud.
Well, he makes every decision.
So who do you want? You didn't want Brady. You missed out on Stafford because you was eating dinner with your wife. And McVay scooped you.
And
who do you want?
You didn't want Justin Fields. You didn't want Mac Jones.
You didn't want Matt Mahomes. You didn't scout Mahomes. You didn't scout Watson. Who do you want? Who do you want?
I just keep thinking about how much different does it look for Trey Lance with another head coach. I don't have the answer to that.
I don't even know who Trey Lance is.
But that's my point. I don't know.
I don't know.
I definitely don't think it's 15 rushes a game.
No. Let's get to Rick in Stockton real quick. Rick, what's happening? He's listening via the car radio. Going old school. What's up, Rick?
Hey, man. Look, I thought Kyle was smart. I used to be, taking up for him, man. But how you running quarterback power? What part of your scheme is running quarterback power against a stacked box? We've been running it the whole game, with our running backs as well. So the box is stacked. Josh Allen, look, they running backs hardly, those guys don't even be effective. He's swinging it. He's spreading it out. When Lamar Jackson took all those carries y'all was just talking about, he had the best right guard in the league, a Hall of Fame right guard that wasn't going to let nobody touch him. He know we got lineman issues and everything, bro. I don't know what's wrong with this dude. And then who else? Okay. Justin Fields. Man, the Bears already know what they got. They not about to risk him at all. He's doing bootlegs, pass. He got option to pass, option to run. These guys, these other coaches are looking smarter than you, man.
Yep, no doubt, Rick. We got to run, and it's great.
Didn't it feel like the Jimmy G, my buddy Kyle's texting me this right now, and I think it's an interesting one. It felt like the Jimmy G read option late in the game was like, see, I run this all the time. That's what it felt like to me. I'm like, what are you doing?
Stubborn.
I can't be the only one who thought that. I can't be the only one. 2 in a row?
Felt like we didn't get to everything this morning. There was so much to get to.
It's a good thing we got a whole week.
Got a whole week.
And we got Russ this week.
We got Russell Wilson and Denver Broncos, a very winnable game. Let's flex, Padoni.